Welcome viewers to Heats 2 and 3 of the Australian 16-foot skiff and 13-foot skiff nationals hosted by Manly's 16-foot skiff club. Joining me in commentary today, I've got two very special guests in Andrew Dolly Devola.
G'day Jimmy.
And James Jimmy Jr. Turner. How are you, buddy? Vice Commodore of St George, getting confused talking to myself, but we're used to it from up in Thailand, brother. So welcome aboard, boys.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
And just seen some footage of yesterday's race, which was abandoned. I did catch up with Hugh Lester early on today, and he tried his hardest to shorten it, and then at the same time he was dealing with maritime, and he just missed one of the boats going around first up. So pretty disappointed for the boys and the girls all round. How was Bella after that, Dol?
Bella didn't have the best day yesterday, so she was pretty happy that it called off. But no one wants to see something like that happen. And I was out skippering the Aloha boat with a few punters watching the sailing yesterday with Dion, and we watched maritime alongside the start boat mutiny for a good 15 and 20 minutes, and I think they were arguing the toss with them for quite a while, but harbour master instructions are set in stone, and I think if they had have made any other decision, the rest of the week probably wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, correct, mate. It's Hugh came over as soon as we got to Manly and pleaded his case, which was fine. It is what it is. They're the cards that we were dealt, and a bit unfortunate, but everyone got a bit animated on social media about it, but at the end of the day, you just got to, the RO's doing the best he can. But how were your boys, Junior?
Yeah, we didn't have the best of days either on our team, but and I think, as Dolly said, no one wants to see it end like that. Today's just another day, right? We put yesterday behind us and so we can go again.
Yeah, it's and certainly bit different conditions today to what we saw yesterday. Big waves and breeze was getting up there yesterday, and big rigs. But today we've seen the breeze in Manly Cove. It looked like it was starting to almost sneak round to the northeast, but we're out here in the Sound now, and it's pretty much due east, right, Jimmy?
Yep, just getting comms through from Captain Jack over on the start boat. They're looking at going to an AP. They got 045 up the course, and 090 down here, so they're just going to probably AP for a little bit. But
yeah, it was interesting. I was looking before, and North Head was sort of showing northeast, and the Sydney Harbour was showing south-southeast. So it's a bit of fighting breeze, maybe.
Bit of a headland in the way there. But we're pretty much in the same piece of water. But with this breeze direction, I don't think we'll be obstructing any commercial harbour traffic, should we say?
Oh, fingers crossed, mate. It's it's a
You have to keep a watchful eye out.
tough one. And there's the Dominoes on screen, who had unbelievable upwind speed yesterday, we noticed, and
They were lightning fast.
Yeah.
They certainly were, and they'd definitely be disappointed with the outcome of yesterday, but also I think they just got pipped on the
right on the finish line.
Right on the finish line there by the Light and Wonder boys, who they sailed their way through, and so you can't discount them. They're obviously getting through the water pretty quick too.
Yeah, they looked pretty slippery yesterday, that's for sure. I thought personally a day like that yesterday with that lump and everything, the Belmont boys and girls would have been knee knocking, but they proved me completely wrong.
I don't think anyone would have put their money on Belmont boats to be first and second yesterday in the lump, but congratulations to the guys. They sailed so well, and a lot of the good guys out there yesterday had a bit of trouble, so even more congratulations to those guys for getting around in one piece, and getting the trophy at the end.
Yeah, most definitely. We saw a lot of big names and a lot of fancied boats that were standing on the fin yesterday.
Yeah.
Very unusual, and some of those boats multiple times.
Yeah.
And the three of us know that the more you stand on that fin, especially on a long day like yesterday, it saps the energy out of you.
Yeah, we had a hand in sinking Imey. I've just finished talking Robbie up how good he is now. He flogs the chute going over waves and so forth, and then bang, bow down.
Well,
So.
Having been a pretty consistent viewer of the live stream over the last 12 months while I've been recovering, I've got to say I'm not going to talk too many people up today because it might come back to bite us.
Dolly, you just touched on your health. You coming good now, mate?
I wouldn't say I'm coming good, Jimmy, but I'm on a bit of a break at the moment. They've given me a couple of months off, and come February I'll be back up at Northern Beaches Hospital earning a few more frequent flyer points.
Well, mate, we're all there with you. So,
mate, the support of the sailing community right through has just been exceptional. My phone, there wasn't a day that went by when some sailing mates didn't ring me up and ask how I was going. I really appreciate it.
Lucky some of your older mates remember how to use a phone.
Yeah, they dialed me up on the Nokia. Yeah. And touching on that too, Jimmy, there's a couple of other skiffies mates that I grew up with at sailing at Middle Harbour before I came to Manly, and you know them well. Pete Bremner, you've been doing a bit of sailing with Pete on the yachts recently, and Johnny Oliver, who's, you know, besides Ed's probably sailed skiffs as long as anyone. They're both battling the big sea at the moment, and I think Pete's probably watching on the live stream, but I hope to see them both down at the club on Friday for the Buffers Day.
Yep,
but
most definitely.
I'm sure they're feeling the love too.
And Junior, how's it all going down there at the mighty new St George Club?
Oh, mate, it's fantastic. You know, it's so great to be able to walk into that new club. It's just, it's amazing from what we had to what we have now. I think every time we have a meeting or you know, an event down there, I just can't be so grateful. It's so good. It's so nice. We just had a Manly Graduate Nationals down at the local club there, down at St George last
Kurt
week.
Warner.
Kurt Warner, who I think is sailing on
Outback
Marine. Clancy.
Yep.
So it was great. He took out the championship, and it was good to have a local boat win the first Australian Championships that's been hosted in a new club. So it was good.
Yeah, another one from the MGs is an old skiffy from Manly, Jimmy Kerrison.
Caro and Deb sailing together.
With his wife Deb. They finished a creditable second and only got pipped by 1 point.
1 point, I know. Yeah. They sailed so well.
And Jim and Deb, I think, have finished taken the bridesmaid title quite a few times. So
Caro looks good in a bridesmaid's dress.
Yeah, but you know, there's a few skiffies looking at a few different other boats to get out sailing on. And I think they've got a pretty good MG fleet down at St George.
Yeah, we do. It's pretty competitive, and I think we had roughly 30 boats for the Nationals, which is a pretty good turnout.
Yeah.
It's pretty competitive little racing, actually. It's good.
Yeah. Maybe we need to throw a few of them a free skiff.
Yeah, well, it's definitely on the card.
You speak to the board about that, Jimmy?
It's definitely been raised, that's for sure, Dole. But we've got a sizable little debt that we've got to repay first. So
I think it's money well spent, Jimmy. I think it's money well spent.
Yeah, we're proud of it, and we're proud that you guys are taking it on, and you know, you're the Vice Commodore down there, so taking the control of the sailing down there for us, so which is good.
And it's good. We've only sort of been in the new club for 4 or 5 months, so I think it's only going to go from strength to strength, really.
You can see there on screen Red Pumps, which is Bruce Savage, Greg Windus, and Jay Harris. Like they're just holding 2 strings, so it's quite light and fickle down here. You know, we're struggling for like 7-8 knots the moment.
I reckon Greg Windust would give both of you blokes a go on the scales. So
Yeah, we were comparing notes a couple of nights ago, actually. Yeah,
We weren't all built for speed like you, Dol.
yeah, well, Jay's more my svelte build. Yeah. And a minute ago, I just saw we were on screen, but while we were talking, Baz Atkins was chasing the Typhoon up the bay, no surprise, and then he had a look at a couple of other boats. But Baz was one of the crew that sailed with Trevor Barnabas on the Buckle Toyota and the
which
Manta.
is today's first race. This is the Buckle Toyota. Trevor Barnabas, Doc Humphreys, Baz Atkins, Jeff Hanlon and Neil Payton with the mighty crew, and I caught up with Trevor earlier on today, and I think we've got a little video we'll show you of that.
Trevor, the one and only Trevor Barnabas here today for Buckle Toyota Day at Manly 16-foot Skiff Club for the Australian titles. Trev, take us back to 1979, mate.
79 was a pretty good year for myself and for my crew, Robert Atkins, Greg Humphreys and Neil Payton. We managed to get through the whole season without basically competed in any championship race.
Yep, no, it was, mate, as long as since I was a kid, always looked up to you and, followed you through the 16s, the 18s, and, was always my poster boy. So it's great to catch up with you, and hope you're catching up with Doc and the boys today and have a great day.
They're all due.
The two young boys, Trent and Zach, sailing, is it bringing a tear to the eye?
Oh yeah, that's the reason we bailed out of Bundaberg on the boat.
Right.
Came back down here because Trevor's sailing behind me and Zach's sailing away from Pagey on the
Typhoon.
Yep.
Great to have you here, and hope you enjoy your day.
Oh, we're having a great day already.
Yep, and there's the Army with Trent Barnabas on board, son of Trevor, and to top it off, Zach Barnabas is on the Typhoon, so that's Trent's son. So 3 generations of Barnabases down here today. Got a little bit of extra info out of Trevor that when they won their first race in an Australian title, his mum went out that morning and bought a pineapple, and they had pineapple before they went racing. So it became a tradition after that. Every race they had a pineapple before and after the race.
Right.
So, the Barnabas family is synonymous in skiffs, and, old Orb used to cart Trevor around all over the place. Then Trevor's done it with Trent, and then so on and so on. But it's great to see. And when we were talking about that boat there on screen, there's young Zach with Nathan Wilmot and Malcolm Page on the Typhoon. They yesterday, you notice they dropped back a little bit. They got the old twist up on the main sheet between the bridle and the pulley on the back.
That was the problem. Okay.
So being a Barnabas, the simple fix was cut it, tie it off, and it was just 1-to-1 with a rope. But only the Barnabases could do that, correct? Like Trent and Zach, they're both little units.
Yeah, I often see them at the gym when I'm working out, Jimmy.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But yeah, I sailed against Trevor in the 18s, and I've obviously sailed against Trent in the 16s. And I remember Trent when he was probably a 3-year-old running around in his little red Speedos at Double Bay playing with his toy boat.
Yep, little chesty, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was all painted up as a chesty bond, and little did I know that little kid would grow up and kick my ass like his dad did.
Yep.
But with Zach, I've coached both the Barnabas boys as they came up through juniors at the club, and yeah, there's a pretty strong vein of talent in that family.
Yeah, well, Zach plays first grade for the mighty Manly Marlins, so I haven't got anyone here to tell me otherwise in the rugby camp anymore. I've normally got Shippo telling me it's East only.
Yeah, the Beasts. But Trent was pretty handy on the rugby pitch too. I wouldn't want to get hit by either of them. But, yeah, what do you think about the breeze here? It looks to me like it's just dropped off a little bit again, Junior.
Yeah, it has come back a little bit. We sort of had 7.5 on our little sum on here, but it's come back down to about 6.5. So interesting to see what the race committee thinks about doing. Just on AP at the moment. Probably waiting for it to settle a little bit.
Yeah, I can hear the radio in the background, the chatter from the race committees non-stop, but there's some of the boys drying out on board that boat there, on the power boat on screen. That was Willie Morrison.
The great Willie Morrison.
They kicked on a little bit last night at the club.
I'm sure they did.
So, but you're there at the live site, enjoy the day, and I think we had the Juniors Day today, Dole, didn't we?
Yeah, I believe so. So a bunch of the kids are going to be brought out, I think maybe on Matana, but there's going to be a bunch of them coming out later on with their sailing gear on, and the idea is to chuck them on a boat and let them
Hitchhike a ride home.
Get a ride home. But as you know, we do that regularly at club level, and you know, it worked with my kids, that's for sure. You chuck them on a skiff and they get a taste for it, and hopefully they end up on a skiff one day.
Well, mate, I remember when you first tried to get Will into a boat, the screaming could be heard from Palm Beach from here, and now Will's in the 16-foot skiff employment hero.
Yeah, he's on the employment hero, mate. When he was, I started sailing with him myself in the Flying 11 when he was barely 5 years old, and he had a life jacket that had a handle on the back of it. And I just used to pick him up and plonk him in the boat and leave the dock before he could change his mind in tears. But yeah, now he's 6'5", 6'6", and sailing the Employment Hero 16. And my daughter Bella, she's just stepped up onto the 13 this year on the botany scaffold. Shout out to the botany team there. I can see them over there. They're on Aloha today, come out to watch the racing today. So shout out to the Brown Bills and John. I think Justin's got his dad on board again today. So hopefully we can put on a good show for them.
What are you hoping for, a Dvola 1-1 in each class?
That might be a big call for Will, I think, Jimmy, but the boys are having a lot of fun. And I say to them, don't worry about your results as long as you're enjoying your sailing.
Well, they're three good mates, so it makes life easy, doesn't it?
They are. They're pretty loose too. So
glad you said that.
Don't know where they get that from, but they're definitely having fun.
Oh, you're an angel back when you were a young bloke, Dole.
Let's not go there, Jimmy. Yes.
He's just. We get the camera to come around to our right. You actually see the botany scaffold girls of Sophie and Bella. There they are.
And hopefully they'll enjoy these conditions today a bit more than they did yesterday.
They were very wet yesterday.
They were.
They
She'll end up with hair like me.
They've improved out of sight this season, Dole. They got their first victory in the 13s, which they were blown away by.
Yeah, they've had a couple of wins now at the club level. And not in dissimilar conditions today, probably a bit more breeze than today. But bigger fleet that we've got here at the Nationals. Great to see so many kids in the 13s. They're quite a young group though, Jimmy.
Yep.
So
a good mix of boys and girls in that class, which is good, and hopefully get them to come all the way through to the 16s is our plan.
That's right. There's the Sutec boys going past us there, giving us a bit of a wave, speaking of loose units. They like to send it, so today's probably not an ideal day for them, but who knows? They're not that heavy, the Sutec boys.
No, they tend to perform a little bit better in the lighter air.
Yeah.
Traditionally, so let's see how they run today.
I'm nervous about when you're going to say who are our picks today, Jimmy.
Well, that's coming up, Dole. And you know the best part about today? You get 2 shots at it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we get the first race as a form guide for picking the second one.
Yeah, well, you can blame the first one on people that were talking it up in the club last night, and then you can go serious in the second one. How's that for a deal?
Yeah.
No, so that. So,
They're going to bring the orange flag up in about a minute and a half, 2 laps.
okay, so just hearing from Chits, the AP's coming down shortly, and an orange flag will go up, which will indicate that any period of time in that 10 minutes leading up, they will be the start signals. So they're going to do a 2-lapper. So.
You'll be happy about that after yesterday.
I thought they would go for an 8-lapper or something.
Yeah, two 6-lappers would have been fine.
Plenty of worn out crews yesterday in the club. You know, a few disappointed faces, but you know, like we said before, there's nothing we can do about it. Nothing can be done.
Yes, beyond our control. And I was a bit surprised yesterday with that start too. Everyone was for a first heat of the Nationals, everyone was really holding back.
Yeah, well, like mentioning that dull where we're situated between Middlehead and the Bombora here, run out tide,
Pushing them up.
A lot of water coming out of Middle Harbour, as you know.
Certainly is, and yeah, we were probably a little bit further north yesterday than we are today, but nonetheless, there's, like you say, Jimmy, a lot of water comes out of the back of Middle Harbour there, and once they rack up and there's nowhere to hide, that can really push you over. So I wouldn't be surprised if we might see a couple of recalls today, even in this light air.
A little bit of less air today, so we'll see the fleet. Be interesting to see the results from today and see how people go. The last 2 days we've had little rigs on the first day and then plenty of breeze and swell yesterday. So it'll be interesting to see who comes good in the lighter air.
Indeed, and there was a few boats out here early. I saw Eric's Imey, Light and Wonder. There was a few of the boats came out quite a period of time before everyone else, and I think they're the smart guys. They've had a bit of a sniff around and seen what this breeze is going to be doing.
Yeah, well, knowing Robbie Napper like I do, there's the orange flag going up. So I'm gathering, here we go, orange going up from Jack. Very observant, Jack. Thanks, buddy. Yep. It's Andy, Jack Andrews on the start-finish boat doing all the results. So, you know, I've got Jack as a bit of a insider. So, but yeah, hopefully today we get him over short and sharp, which is the plan. So 090 is the bearing, which we're basically pointing at it. I can see the mark boat just here, just off
Yep.
North Head.
Yep.
And there's Georgia Clancy with Kurt Mitchell and Kurt Warner on the Outback Marine. Stewie Graham, g'day, brother.
Yep. They, I think they might go all right today too. You know, I don't know that they'll be at the very front of the fleet, but obviously there's handicap on us to up for grabs too, and George's got a good handle on that boat.
Yeah.
I had a good chat with Kurt in the park yesterday, and he was very, very impressed with George's boat handling skills yesterday. Very, very impressed. So,
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see how they go tonight.
Well, George has filled in like for a long time sailing skiffs. Like we used to get to fill in on the fire stopping back in the day.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was she was seamless when she slid in like down the back and steering, so which was good. There's the NHS boys on screen.
Oh yeah.
Who
shot off like a rocket yesterday, didn't they?
They did.
Definitely someone to watch, I reckon, in this series. A few good hands and a few good heads on that boat.
Definitely.
Simon Hoffman in the bow.
Yep. No slouch for a young fella.
Yep, absolutely.
That's Nozomi Chapo. He was a real surprise packet in both the invitation
were
race and
slippery.
yesterday. They are.
Pete, they did turns and everything. Pete Kendall and who's on there? Charlie Gundy.
Gundy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Handy crew.
Very handy.
Yep. And obviously Chapo makes his own gear, and it looks quite a bit different to what everyone else has got. much different head profile and those sails. So. We've got LaHaye's on screen now. Now I bumped into Mark Wilson down at Middle Harbour, I think it was yesterday, and he was telling me that their combined age is 187 years between the three of them. And so three mature gentlemen on the LaHaye's, and I think the only boat that would probably come close to them would be Marilyn Sorensen and her crew of Stevie Stenner and Mike Jenkins.
And it's great to see them still out here going around competing. You know, it's awesome.
Yeah.
So good. It just shows, like, you know, what a range of ages that can step into this class, have fun and do well, you know. I think it was a couple of years back at the Queensland Nationals, I think Marilyn got a first or a second in one of the heats of the Nationals.
Yep, she can sail.
Yeah, it was excellent.
But particularly for these crews, you know, both you two are and were crews.
Yep.
You know, it's hard work, and when these guys are getting up 60 plus, getting those kites up and down, especially on a 6-lapper in that breeze yesterday, I bet they
So
slept
there'll
well
be
last
6 minutes
night.
to a start signal here.
It's hard enough doing it at the ripe old age of 37, let alone at 60.
You that old, Junior? Gee, you don't look a day over 21.
I like to think that.
Who have we got there? That's I thought it was a fire
MH44,
stopping.
I think it is.
It is too, with an old fire stopping jib. So they're one of the Middle Harbour boats.
Eva Atwood, Tony Sheldon, and Neil Milan.
That's it. Yep.
Another Middle Harbour boat.
It is, yeah, and yeah, they'll be giving it a crack. I think is it Mia's the skipper? Is that her name?
Eva.
She's a young 29er sailor that they've grabbed, I believe.
Yeah, nice.
Who's just jumped on for this regatta.
Yeah,
So
great. Hopefully we
about 20
convince her
seconds
to
can
or
hang
stick
on to
going.
her. Hopefully she gets a taste and
Yeah,
stays in the class.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Going
There
with
we
the
go.
5-minute gun.
5 minutes to go.
The just for the viewers at home, our clock on our screen, or what you're seeing at home, isn't the official timing, so we could be a couple of seconds either which way.
Right.
So if you see the line, like if the line, don't take it as gospel. If you don't run off that for the timer, but it's as close as we can get. So so yeah. But, so
The breeze seems to look like it's settled down a little bit now. Still quite light, and a sort of 6 to 7 knots. Definitely going to be interesting for a lot of these light air crews. Be good to see.
I'm just trying to spot the pin boat. It looks to be
right behind Noakes Blue,
it looks
Gil,
to-
the bloke that you've sailed against for a million years. Doc.
and with Gilly.
Oh, right.
Yeah, on the Amy AAMI 18, Gilly was in the bow, and we had Dave Witt, the wild one, up the back. But yeah,
Still remember, where was that one where he had a nice little polite chat with you?
that was at Broome, mate, and I might add we won that regatta.
Witty being calm as always.
Yeah, indeed. But yeah, no, I was looking for that pin boat because it looks quite deep to me.
There it is on screen now.
Yeah.
We can see.
Oh, there we are.
And there's Infinity Rigging. That's St George boat. They actually did quite well in the 100th regatta at Belmont. They got a second on the day. So they're little light end specials.
Righto.
Interesting to see how they go.
Because they were testing the waters yesterday a couple of times.
They definitely were testing the waters. Yeah.
But yeah, with that deep pin, it's looking to me to be a bit boat favoured here, which might bring my general recall into play, I think. But it remains to be seen.
Be interesting to see if any of the guys out there are listening to you.
Yeah, I've got direct comms to the employment hero.
So, who's your pick? We'll only just go one pick for the first one. How's that?
We just pick one boat, Jimmy.
Just pick one for the first one.
Jeez.
We'll ease you into it.
Do you want to go first, Junior?
Look, after the performance yesterday, I'd love to stick my money on a Sir George boat, but I think I'm going to have to go with Light and Wonder.
Righto.
And they're actually a light air crew, and for them to perform like they did yesterday, I reckon they're on fire.
Okay. Yep.
Dole?
Mate, I'm going to put it out there and sort of the phoenix rising from the ashes from the last week. I'm going to put it on Typhoon, I think.
Okay, yeah.
Two Olympic gold medalists. They're not too heavy. And, I think if anyone's going to read this breeze, if they can get off the start line without hitting anything,
They've had a
they
bit
might
of that,
go all
haven't they,
right.
the poor bastards.
Jimmy?
So less than 2 minutes to go now. It's
Mate,
starting to make their way down here. Yeah, what do you think, Jimmy?
well, I reckon SKE Electrical, Scott Babbage,
Nutters.
Scott Beebe and
Yep.
Joel, they, as you know, like Scott Babbage is a bit of a wind whisperer as well.
He sure is.
Pretty handy man, yep.
Very handy. The other one that will be slippery from the Manly Club will be probably sail racing in this
Yeah, good
breeze.
point.
Is,
Good
to
point.
keep an eye on for the
Yeah.
viewers at home.
Yep.
Come on, you said we could only pick one, mate.
You
I
took the
was
words out
just
of my
saying for the
mouth.
viewers at home.
So, inside a minute now.
Inside a minute now, and they
Everyone's starting to
are
rack
actually
up at the
holding
boat.
back a bit. And as I predicted, it's a bit of a rack up at the boat end here with that pin.
And the
pin
tide's
not
got
being
them.
favoured.
Tribeca, new sponsor there, Junior, for you guys.
No, Tribeca. Yeah, new sponsor. It's great. David Elwood at Tribeca has got an investment fund. He was happy enough to come on board for the next 2 seasons, which was fantastic for us. Great MG sailor. Yes, correct. Yep.
So they're really racked up here. It's very tight at the boat end. The boat to the middle. Boats are starting to advance here. I think my
Tide's got
prediction,
something, but the
my prediction's going to come true here. I think, boys.
General Recall.
General recall. Good call, Dolly.
Well, your prediction's somewhat right already, Dole, so hopefully your tip for the day's right.
Call me Nostradamus, mate.
Oh, call you plenty of things.
But yeah, particularly Zoe Dransfield in the southerly and the Fireball. There was a bunch in that sort of third way down the line. They were well advanced on everyone else.
Well, we had something pretty magical that you mentioned Zoe Dransfield on the southerly. Something pretty magical happened here at Manly a couple of weeks ago, where we had 3 female skippers, first, second, third in the race. So
Wow.
in a 100-year history.
That's never happened before.
So that was pretty cool to see. And we're getting similar conditions to today. Are we going to see
Who knows?
the girls stand up?
Yeah, well, I was putting, if you were going to give us more options than one, Jimmy, I was going to throw Zoe in as a wild card in my selection. She was also, back when I was still coaching, Zoe and Pearl Toomey, they were the first to ever win first all-female crew to ever win a Flying 11 Nationals.
Pretty handy surname, though, having that Dransfield, isn't it?
Yeah, well, all the kids have won a few titles now, and awesome to see Tyler doing so well in the 16 as well.
Yeah,
But
Tyler, the current New South
Yeah.
Wales state champion.
indeed he
so
is.
well.
Yeah, and I've been doing a bit of work with those guys on their program, and I'll tell you, Chris is leaving no stones unturned. He really has been putting in a lot of effort.
Yeah, I saw
And
the boys.
that's reaping rewards.
Yeah, I saw the boys out there yesterday tuning the rig, string line out, checking everything over. So it's good to see that they're, and it's good to see that the sponsors, looking after them as well. They've really given them all the opportunities to do well. So it's great that they're making the most of it.
Yeah, most definitely. They're and the 2-boat program doesn't hurt either, because
Yeah,
they can
agreed.
They can tune against each other. They can
Yeah.
compare notes.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty, and both are smart operators too on
Yeah.
both boats.
So Hugh doesn't mess around. He's straight back into it. We unfortunately got black flagged at Port Stephens after a general recall in the old James Co, where we weren't able to get back to the start line in time because Hugh got us back into sequence so fast.
So quickly.
So we learned our lesson. There.
Yeah, he doesn't mind pulling out the black flag either. He doesn't mess around.
He doesn't. Yeah.
Are we going to see a different coloured flag go up here?
Yeah, potentially.
No, I think they've got the blue.
Oh, yeah.
He's giving them half a shot.
Yeah.
Blue Peter's up again, but I think this will be their last chance.
Yeah, absolutely.
We haven't got all day.
There's the Cunningham's just came across on screen and off screen.
Yeah, just behind there they are.
It's good to see them back out again. They looks like they lost their rig yesterday.
Yeah, snapped a spreader and the rig just collapsed. And huge shout out to Robert Atkins, Baz Atkins, who they went and had a chat with last night, and Baz met him at the factory at 6 a.m. this morning, and there's the result. So thanks a lot on behalf of that team to Robert Atkins.
Oh, absolutely. Relentless when it comes to stuff like that, Baz. He's just always there to offer a hand. Spent many a mornings and late nights at his loft.
Yes, he had us at the club at 5 a.m. the other morning.
Yeah.
It wasn't much fun. Trying to get my son out of bed at 5 a.m. is not an easy task.
Don't worry, Junior was only just getting home at 5 a.m, mate.
Yeah.
Quite possibly. Quite possibly. But yeah, once again, this breeze, the Salmon's showing we've still got a bit, but it doesn't look it, does it?
No.
Looks very soft.
We got one of our regular viewers, Pete Chalmers, tuning in, who normally tunes into us for the 18s and so forth. So Pete, if you're watching, g'day buddy.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Yep.
Thanks for stopping by.
And while we've got you all listening, don't forget to tune in on Sunday for the 18s. So
first race back?
No, we're back on Sunday.
Back on Sunday, mate. No rest for the wicked here from Sale Media.
Busy week for you guys.
Hopefully the conditions are as nice as today for you. Maybe a little bit more breeze.
A little bit more breeze would be nice.
Breeze, yeah. Starting to get inside 2 minutes now.
Just got Clint Bowen and the boys on the fluid, just weaving between us and the start boat. There they are. Bit of more new gear on the fluid, and they've finally got a logo on their main. So I was looking at that boat yesterday for a couple of minutes going, who's that? Now I know.
I think actually they must have damaged the top of their mainsail yesterday on the first down when we saw them retire.
Top of the mast, Junior.
Top of the mast,
yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so I think that top fitting that holds the backstays and the head of the main hooks into, they had a bit of a failure there.
They came past us yesterday. I thought they just had a reef in. I thought it was a bit windy for them, you know.
But no, they've managed to patch that up, and they're back in action. How long have we got there? We're racking up at the boat end pretty tight again here.
Not a lot of boats taking advantage of the gap down to leeward on the pin end there. I think you're right, Dolly. It seems to be boat favoured.
Definitely, yeah. Although I think that they may have brought that pin end up a little bit. It looks like it's come up a touch compared to that last start, sorry.
2 red pumps are down the pin end there, yep. Well advanced, ready to go. That Tyler will be one to watch today. Both the red pumps will be boats to watch today, I think, too.
Yeah, a bit lighter on the red pumps, red.
Yeah.
Their crew weight's a bit lighter.
Yep.
Especially at the back end of the boat, comparing Tyler to Bruce. And
yeah.
we're getting close here. They're big rack up at the boat end. We've got Sail Racing, Moon and NHS, SKE, Noakes, Nozomi, all top contenders, and they're rubbing gunnels.
Typhoons, a couple of in the middle of the line there, and someone going for a port start. Just on screen there.
Another general recall.
Oh, there you go.
And that horn that Tinny, which is Peter Tinworth from Middle Harbour, the man himself has installed on his start boat, is
you can't miss it.
I think he'll be able to use it down at St George, Junior.
I think he stole it off someone's Kenworth.
Yeah.
But yeah, one of those boats that was well advanced then was the fire stopping. I noticed, Jimmy.
Yeah, because it's a quick boat, mate. That's why.
Oh, yeah, I know the guy that made it.
Mate, it's a testament to you, Dolly, that boat. And as you know, it's never going to be sold. So
I think it's 15 years old, isn't it, Jimmy?
Wow.
yeah, she's a beauty. She's one for the keepers. Like everyone that's jumped on that boat and steered that one has always said it's different to every other one.
Yeah, right.
Just feels different. And there you go. AP down.
Just wasn't that quick when I was steering it.
And there's the Skelton. There's the Skelton guys on screen, the Macon boys. That'll be someone to watch today. They new boat this season.
Yep.
Yeah, won the Nationals in Illawarra a few years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who got second in that one? Jimmy, was it?
I don't know, mate. It's the longest drive up that freeway, I'll tell you.
Not much said.
Oh no, it's mate. We, a bit like Kero, we're
Plenty of bridesmaids.
we're lucky to win 2 championships, which was great. But with the amount of bridesmaids dresses the fire stopping team collected over the years is.
It's a testament to you guys, though. You know.
Well, mate, I was pretty lucky. I had guys surrounding me every which direction. Boat builders, being Dolly.
Yep.
I had Baz back in the day.
Yep. Yep.
And we had Jammer, Bruce Perry doing the rigs, and that was the start of the dynasty.
Yeah.
And it was many a time we'd be out training or doing whatever, and I'd ring Dolly and he'd be like, "What have you broken?" And it's like, "Yeah, I'll see you at the factory." So
it's great that the class is like that. I mean, even today, everyone is just so happy to help everyone out. Whenever there's an issue, it's great that everyone just wants to see each other on the water.
And we've got the naughty flag will be deployed this time, being the black flag. So
Can see that in Tinny's hand there.
About to go up.
Yeah, we said they wouldn't give them too many chances, and their chances are up.
That's it.
So for the non-sailors that are watching, Dole, do you want to give a little explanation what a black flag means?
So with the black flag, if you cross the starting line or the extensions of the starting line, which is either side of the boat and the pin end, if you cross that within 1 minute of the start signal, you are instantly disqualified and there is no recourse. You can't go round the ends, you can't dip back in, you are gone.
I just heard from the crew boss from Typhoon, Craig Nichols. He's watching in hospital with Lisa.
Oh, very good.
So, g'day, guys.
Shout out to Craig and especially Lisa, sending her our love. We might see you down at the club later, Craig. I'm sure.
I don't know if he knows where it is.
There's the Noakes Blue on the screen there, young Ryan with his dad.
What would Gil be? He'd be 24 plus postage.
Much younger than me, Jimmy.
Still knows his way around the skiff, though.
Yeah. Very, very handy. I've got to say, Gilly and Rob Napper are probably the 2 best forward hands I've ever had the pleasure of sailing with.
You're not the first person to have said that either. I've heard that of a few people.
Hubble will be throwing a can of dog food at the screen, mate. He didn't get a mention.
I'm sure Pete's watching. He's been very active on social media. I'm sure we'll be seeing him on Friday. Actually, I believe he's coming tomorrow. Is that right? Or is he here today, Jimmy?
Coming on the 12th, I think he's coming down to. Oh, he's coming down tomorrow, but he's also coming down on the 12th, and I think he's hopping on here with me for commentary.
Awesome.
Going to have the great Hubalowski.
He'll have to go widescreen to fit his head in. Now, I knew he was coming tomorrow because I was speaking with my old mate Greg Hyde this morning. Shout out to Heidi if he's watching. And Heidi told me that the Otis boys are all coming down to the club tomorrow, because tomorrow's first race, I think, is being held in their honour. Multiple national champions.
Yep, it is, yeah.
So I know Greg's looking forward to coming down to the club tomorrow and on Friday for the old buffers and catching up with some mates. We're counting down again.
Just over 1 minute here to go, and there's some boats well advanced, not understanding this tide movement here, Dol. I'm noticing like up close to the...
Yeah, with a minute to go, the red pump's on a black flag, although they're going to take a bit of a dip now. But
we're about a couple of seconds out here, so again, viewers, don't take our clock on screen as gospel.
yeah, Jimmy's got us in a pretty good line with we're not lined up with the flags, but we're pretty close.
Bit of carnage up here at the
Oh, yeah.
NHS snap spinnaker pole.
Oh, no.
Oh dear, the NHS has
That's not
broken
great.
a pole. They've put it up the back of, who was it, Noakes, I think?
Noakes, yeah, yep.
And a bit of a bounce on a wave, and she snapped off.
You've got Moonen here and Noakes contending from this boat end here. Moonen really wants the boat end.
Clint Bowen is definitely above the extension of the line here. And he's going to be very late for the start.
Musto with Hugh Stoddart.
Musto with Hugh Stoddart, yeah.
Clear start
Clear
was
start.
called, so
Wow.
your beauty,
Okay,
we're
away they
away.
go.
Well, if that's a clear start, that is a brilliant start from Hugh Stoddart.
Oh, absolutely. He's taken full advantage of the line sag.
Very disappointing for the NHS boys.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Hopefully they can get back to the beach and maybe swap it over before the next heat.
And yesterday, Jimmy, the Musto with Hugh Schultz and Niall, they were sailing an exceptional race, and their trapeze wires let go.
Oh, I wondered what happened to them. They were sailing so well.
So
Yeah, it was a strop on top of the strop let
connecting
go.
to the rig.
So they're all marching along there. We've got Tribeca in the pack there. A little bit of, get a bit of dirty air from RW there, but I guess they got to hold in.
Zoe Dransfield just below
Yep.
Musto.
Oh yeah, on the southerly. Yeah.
Yeah, Southerly.
Excellent. Extending nicely.
Typhoon's looking good just here as well.
And Light and Wonder.
Light and Wonder stepped out.
Right
Yeah.
screen
Yeah.
there.
Someone needs to speak to them about their signage. Now we've got a
it's a
boat of
tangle up.
we've got a
Oh,
tangle
yeah.
up over there. It was Wishart and somebody.
Yeah.
One of them's gone in the tide. I don't know that sail insignia, do you, Jimmy? It's just got a bit of a dodgy W on it or something on it.
WeatherTex.
Oh, is it?
Belmont
Okay.
boat will be WeatherTex, I
Yep.
think. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So you'll see some of the crews that when they're tacking, they're going in front of the mast. Some are going under the boom still. It's very hit and miss.
Yeah. There's Southerly on the screen now with Zoe and Tim and Polly.
I think they're going to do well out of this
Yeah.
left-hand side here. They're moving
I
through the
noticed,
water
I
pretty
don't think it
quickly.
was Polied on there. Some young kid, which will
is
call
that
on
right?
you for your bits and pieces, Dole. For
Okay.
that.
They've benched him, have they?
Well, he probably benched himself after yesterday from the near impossible marathon.
Yeah, and there's the Light and Wonder there. They're in a pretty good position out the left here too. Although it's interesting, there seems to be quite a split in the fleet. You know, a few of the good guys like Dominoes, who had a good race yesterday, they've taken right, and Moonen is far right. You can see in the top left of our screen.
They are, yeah. They'll pick up a tidal advantage over there. Not sure about a breeze advantage, but they'll certainly, that tide will start punching around middle head there and really start cutting them up.
It's good to see that Tribeca's out there as well, so hopefully they're going the right way.
Product placement.
We got Typhoon there on the right of screen. They're not doing too badly.
Yeah, we're not really going to know how this is going to pan out until they converge, but I'm
Yeah.
actually I'm thinking that right-hand side's looking pretty good if they can if they can get headed at some point.
Light and Wonder is looking right down to the right here, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see. There's the Dominoes.
Which Noakes have we got over on that far side with?
That's Mackie, isn't it?
It is, okay.
The Hollows in signature is Mackie, Peter Mackie, and
Davey O'Connor and Ricky Bridge.
Dave O'Connor and Ricky Bridge, and then the solid is the Noakes Blue with Ryan Ewings, Dave
nice
Ewings
tip.
and Finn.
Nice tip, thanks, Junior.
So yeah, that's Noakes and Moonen sort of going head to head there. They'll definitely be two to watch for.
Yeah. As I say, if they can pick up a shift over there
Yep.
and get a little header,
Yep.
they'll be looking famous, I think.
Skelton and Dominoes not far behind on that right hand side.
Just keeping an eye on some other boat movement around the harbour, and more as you come up into Manly, it's more northeast, and so you've got two converging breezes here. So it's what's going to come off best is what we're going to see here shortly.
Yeah.
We're just going through a little bit of dark water ourselves in the camera cut here, so it'll be interesting to see. There's a few boats heading out to the left hand side. It'll be interesting to see what comes of that.
Yeah, we're just where we are now. There's just a couple of knots more pressure. It's actually filling in a little.
Yeah.
Got the access over there with those right-hand boats too, with Dominoes and red pumps. It's going to be quite interesting. They are really banging a corner over there.
They sure are.
Yep. Musto's still on port tack here. Stepped out to windward from Typhoon.
You say all the heavy hitters are down on the south side here, right?
Yeah,
Noel?
it looks like it. Yeah.
They are, Jimmy, but
The only one that's gone north that you sort of put a bit of coin on is Ivy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't that looking that good, so I think they're rolling the dice and hoping it pays off. But these few leading right-hand side of the fleeters, they wouldn't be getting too far off a layout.
Yeah, the mark's a long way to the left underneath North Head there.
It is, and with the tidal assistance, it's a
you don't
long fetch to the mark. It's going to carry them up.
Yeah, they don't want to overlay.
I think just going through some fairy air, the boys there.
I think the three ones extended on the right here. I think they're waiting for the U-tack. No U-tack.
Yeah,
no U-tack.
it's a bit like that. Yeah.
I don't think that either of them want to go until Moonen does.
I wonder if they've seen the mark.
South Reef will definitely dictate the decision shortly.
They're going to have to go soon.
A little bit of Australia coming up. There's Typhoon on the bottom of the screen there. They're moving through the water quite nicely. They're crossing the red pumps. Not sure if it's red pumps red there. And they've got Hugh Stoddard nipping at their heels on the Musto.
So some of the boats that have tacked already, I just lined them up as we went past, and they're not too far off a lay. And they've got the current advantage carting them up. So I would think these guys are going to overstand it, but I've been wrong before.
I tend to agree with you, Dolly. It's the course is a lot shorter than yesterday, obviously because we're on a two-race day. There's the red pumps red and RW coming across on Starboard.
The Erics.
Yeah, so they're the ones that have flicked over that we crossed before. And,
the Erics.
They were underlaid, but they weren't too far off it.
And the Eric Storage had a good day yesterday.
They go all right in the light too.
Yeah, they do. They do.
They do. They've won a couple of national seats.
So the Moonans just taken their dig to come back across, and I think they've dumped straight on the Noakes, which has forced them to go back out to the right. A little duck here from the Noakes on Skelton.
I've just got a cross coming up here with Moonen and Typhoon. So we'll see who blinks first, and Typhoon's tacking underneath.
Going to leave out them there.
Well, as you alluded to, Dull, I think they've probably realised they're close to overstanding this mark.
Yeah, well, with the current, I definitely think they have. But now that they've tacked, the breeze hasn't really played in their favour. They're not.
Yeah, W just
They're
ducking
not
behind
really
Domino's.
Oh yeah, that's a bit ugly.
Like we were talking about before, who have we got on screen in there at the
We
moment?
got Noonan and Typhoon coming across on starboard here.
Yeah, but we were talking about Hugh Stoddart before. He's tacked a bit earlier than those guys. He's stepped out in front of them.
He's just in the top right of the screen.
Yeah. So if he's on a ley line,
he could well be at the top of the pack.
He could well.
He did
be.
have a great start, didn't he? Out of the box,
He did have a fantastic
made
start.
Got out like a greyhound, didn't he?
Mate, yeah.
Box 8.
A lot of people have been saying that he's one to watch. He's a great regatta sailor.
Very good, and Schultze and Noel Kinch too. The three of those guys have done a lot of sailing together.
Yeah.
And this is their first year that they've jumped into a 16.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's going to take them a little while to get their head around to stop running through the boat. There's no wings on the side for a start. But
There they are on screen.
Yeah, so that's Hugh Stoddart, Paul Schultz, and Niall Kinch.
That's it.
Just beautifully sailing along there in a lovely groove. Both 2 on trapeze. Obviously a good weight for today. A little bit of bent legs, but
Yeah, no, they look like they're getting through the water really nicely.
Yeah.
Good trim.
absolutely.
Boat's not bouncing too much.
And that's Eva in the background on MH44, who we were talking about before.
Yep.
SKE, yeah.
Going
Scotty
in
Babbage
behind.
and Scott Beebe.
And you could say there's a long way to go, but this is only a 2-lapper.
Correct.
If they don't lay the foundations now,
Yeah.
there's not going to be too many passing lanes on this downwind either.
We've got...
It's sort of going to be a one-way track, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is, most definitely.
Who's that on screen? We've got Noonan coming across here, and they've crossed the Erics quite comfortably.
Yep.
Crossed SKE, and they're just starting to roll down, not over the top, but just roll down to Typhoon to close gauge a little bit, see if they can roll down over the top.
So those
How are they for lay?
guys have, like I thought, I reckon they've overlaid. They're going quick through the water. They're pointing at the mark, going quick through the water. Then we've got Hugh Stoddart and Imey. They're having to pinch to get up, but Sail Racing has come in from this other side on port tack. They've just flopped over,
Very well.
and they are going to lead around this mark.
They're going to get the colour telly.
First out the heads. So I don't think Imey's going to lay this. They're getting a bit of gas, and that's really hurting them. But Hugh on the Musto, he's going to lay, and he'll be second around.
Oh, yeah, he's done real well.
Very well.
Good clear air from the
Great
start.
set on the Sail Racing there. It was sensational set. Less than a boat length.
Yeah.
They're no slouches, those guys either. They've always been in contention.
Most definitely.
So Musto second, Moon and Yachts third, Typhoon fourth.
Now, Imey did manage to just squeeze around there.
And then the Sutek.
Oh, look at that.
Go the Sutek boys.
With Steve-O and
Watching
Sausage back at work. The boys are performing.
Okay, so we've got Light and
Light and
Wonder.
Wonder, who you thought would be there.
Yep.
Eric's again, light airs, they're doing quite well.
They're slippery, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Red pumps red. Southerly, look at the Dransfield.
Yep. Oh,
Two
look, here's the Tribeca.
And the
Talk 'em up.
Tribeca, yeah, come on boys, much better than where they were yesterday.
Botany Access, the boys on the Aloha will be happy to see them up in the leading group. Dominoes.
Kite's just gotten caught on Tribeca as it goes up, but they've managed to sort out. Rory Cox on the bow, pretty handy.
Yep.
Got Dominoes, the race leader for most of the race yesterday, and Noakes have just gone round for a jibe set.
Well, they had to. You can't just jump in this line, can you?
No, absolutely not at all.
Yeah, they've had a pretty ugly set,
The
unfortunately.
red pumps overcooked it from the other way. Coming in hot. Just got to find a spot.
Yeah, taking a lot of sterns there.
Well, we might mosey on down with them, boys. Haven't got the seaway to contend with that we did yesterday.
Very pleasant.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't yesterday, Dolly. Definitely earned my beer tally yesterday.
Uh-huh.
The red pump's having a bit of an issue there with their kite on screen as they roll over.
I think they're just trying to roll infinite rigging, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you're right. Nozomi still going up to the mark there. Gee, that's unexpected.
They went very hard left to the northern side of the bay here, and I suspect they might have got a bit too close to North Head, where
a bit of a
the
shelter.
pressure basically halves in there.
Yeah.
Which your boys on the Tribeca here, they might want to look at jibing soon, or they might slip into the same same problem.
Keegan will be telling him otherwise, mate.
Keegan York, who's filled in for me since I've hurt my shoulder just weeks before the Nationals. He loves to give direction.
Keegan will want to do one and in, so they're doing as few jibes as possible.
Yes, you're right. You're right. He needs to get that kite around though.
So just looking at these leaders, Sail Racing has flopped over onto starboard. They did a lovely jibe.
It's great work from those guys.
They're sailing very well
they're
in
going to
these
cross
conditions.
the fleet They're going to cross the fleet on starboard and continue to hold the lead, I'd say.
Yeah.
Although Moonen is on a pretty good line there.
They are, and they're looking like they're making a few gains through on the Sue Tech and the Typhoon. They sailed a little bit of a higher line and got a bit soft, but they've jibed now, as has Sue Tech, as it's going to take a few jibes to get down to this gate. But
It's a great shot of Felix there on the Sail Racing.
Yeah, he's shown his nous there. He's jibed on a nice little vein of pressure, catching a few waves here.
There's Typhoon in the background, yeah.
Yeah, just out of shot there at the moment, but to the right of the shot is the Musto. And he's got a nice little bit of pressure down the inside. He's lost that bit of depth now, but he got some really nice depth in on that left-hand side going downwind.
That's a great shot there on screen, just watching the fleet come down. And it really does show how much Sail Racing has extended out there.
Yeah.
Just to be able to get in front and just clear their air a little bit, that'll be hard to catch up that next work.
Yeah, with only one more lap to go, Junior. Like we were saying, it's...
Yeah. Although anything can happen, right?
Yeah, it certainly can. And like I was saying, Musto has got pretty close to them here. There they go crossing now on screen.
Yeah.
So Hugh got a nice bit of pressure on that other side, and he's come back, and I'm guessing he's just gonna jibe when he gets on this ley line.
Yeah. There's Moonen and Imey and Red Pumps, Moonen and Imey pushing down behind.
I think the majority of them will go to this port one.
Yeah.
Dole. It looks like it's a little bit closer up the course too.
A touch, yeah. And look, yeah, I think you want to punch out to that same side. They found some advantage.
Well, looking at the crew movement on Musto there on screen, they're fighting hard to get up to it.
Yeah, and that's why I thought before they should have jibed a little bit earlier, because he actually fell off that bit of pressure that he had. He's obviously in plenty now.
Here's Sail Racing coming in for a drop now.
Pretty tidy drops.
Tom, yeah, pretty well done there.
Let's get it in the bag there. They could do with him out on wire already, though.
Yep. Yeah, just getting a bit of breeze filling in here. Musto around in third, and Moonen Ruffy not far behind.
That's right. and Typhoon.
Typhoon nipping at their heels.
A quick drop and a jibe.
Yep.
The only one that's going to the other mark at this stage is Southerly,
Yeah.
young Zoe.
Yep.
And the Sutek
Typhoon and Sutek.
just coming around.
Come on, Pagey, get those old arms going.
There's the Red Pumps Red coming around now with Imey.
The other downside of taking that other mark, Jimmy, is that you're under of the bad
Majority
air
of
of all the...
spinnakers,
Yeah. I wouldn't want to be going that way.
Looks like Domino's might be making that decision also to go right-hand turn and out to the left-hand side.
The only thing you can pray for doing that, Dole, is that the northeast kicks.
Tribeca coming around there now. Nice little drop. They're in a good little spot there.
Light and Wonder. Right
Light
behind
and
them.
Wonder.
Yeah, they were forced to go through to Leeward there with no right, so that's
SKE Electrical.
And SKE.
that's put them in Light and Wonder into the dirty air of pretty much everyone in front of them there.
So it's interesting to see, even with this light air, there's still a lot of familiar faces in the front pack.
Yeah. Regardless of size, right?
Exactly.
They look like they're comfortably two-string though, Dole. So
Yeah.
you know, it's sort of a level playing field as much as you can get it right now. So
Yeah.
which is great.
For sure. And look, I think considering what the forecast was looking like, I reckon it's a pretty good day for sailing.
Yeah. Here you see the fluid going to the right-hand mark, and Shebang, the beer bet between Ant and Clint, is on.
In full force.
Yep.
Red Pumps making a bit of noise here at the bottom mark, just letting Noakes Blue know they've got no room.
Yeah,
Here
that's
comes your young bloke.
yeah, and he's going to get loose here. Late drop, boat's inside him,
Get it in.
Nothing you wouldn't have taught him, Dole.
no pressure. He'd be screaming at the forward hand like I used to. Yes. They'll only put up with so much before they turn around and thump you.
And I don't know, just off screen we've got Noakes of Dave O'Connor, Petey Mackey and Ricky Bridge electing to go out to that left-hand side as well.
mate, they've got to try something.
Yeah.
They're clutching at straws.
They
eh?
are indeed, yeah. Although, you know, as bad as this sounds, being this back in the fleet, they won't have the procession of spinnakers to contend with going back uphill.
Yeah, true.
And they might get away from the fleet here and clear their air a bit, so
Yeah.
it's worth rolling the dice when you're back that far, right?
When you're not installing glass, you have a job polishing turds, do
I'm an expert.
Yeah, so we've got Cunningham's and an employment hero out on just sort of gapped together, pretty tightly bunched with the Noakes Blue there. I think the Noakes Blue probably went around in front of the
They did.
the main players.
They did, yeah. Mackey will want his boat back. Peter Mackey. Although it's a great, it's great to see, Peter Mackey almost donating his boat to Ryan and Dave Ewings to be able to come here and do the event. And it means another competitive boat on the water down at St George, and to lift the level of sailing down there. So it's
Yeah,
awesome.
for sure. And Ryan's a great young kid and a very talented sailor, and
He'll be one to watch for, I reckon, in the coming years.
most definitely. And that's something that that Pete and Bridgie have done over the years. They had my son Will.
Yep.
I was actually doing quite a bit of sailing with them, and a light day came along, and they said, "How would Will like to steer the boat today?" And he was only about 13 years old. I didn't get asked back after that. But they encourage. I see them in the boat park. They talk to the young guys. They're always being encouraging.
Yeah.
They're great ambassadors for Skiff sailing.
Absolutely.
Mate, they're awesome. Like with the young guys I got on the fire stopping this year.
Yeah.
Mackie and Bridgie, first probably two people to put their hand up and go, "You need anything with them?
Yeah.
Shout out, let us
Yeah.
know. We're here to help." And a lot of the guys. This class is renowned for the camaraderie.
It
Doesn't matter whether you're first or last,
Yeah.
male or female.
Yeah.
Everyone jumps in and helps, and it's
And that's
sort
what's
of
so
nice
great about the class. It really is. I've enjoyed that probably most about out of it.
Yeah.
There's
There's my pick the Typhoon on screen there. They're
Might get on the podium, maybe, Dole.
I think they might be a podium. They're So Sail Racing is still, what would you say, that 100 metres in front of Moonan?
Yep.
And with Typhoon pretty hot on Moonan's tail there. Then in the mix, Botany Access, they're doing brilliantly. They'll be very close to maybe fourth or fifth. Hugh Stoddart, he's stepped out to windward a bit like he did last time. We'll see how that works out for him. He'll be in front of these 3, 4, 5 boats.
Is Tyler just crossing the screen now on Red Palms Road?
Yeah, he was just waving. There's a Seawind catamaran right on his line. He just waved him off, which was nice of the bloke. So
even those guys, they're doing a little bit of bending in between the puffs.
Sail Racing on screen now, just sort of, they've decided to make their way back across just to not get caught out with the overlay. It's interesting that they went hard left the first work and now hard right.
yeah,
It's an interesting, see how they fare.
but all the main players all came out here, so out
Yeah,
to
that's
the right.
right.
So you got to,
I guess they're just protecting the fleet, right?
yeah, you know you're slippery. You just got to
Stay in
stay
front.
between you and the next mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's a long
right in the
port.
back door of
long
the
port
Sail
fetch.
Racing there on screen, Bell.
Yeah. Oh, nice on-board shot there from the drone. That's fantastic, guys. You can really, the viewers at home can really see the action of the crew.
You can see
moving
Felix
around.
sitting right in.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're stacked well forward, and you can just see legs bending, legs straightening. They're really driving that boat as best they can. They don't want to give this one away. And as I said, Hugh Stoddart, he's closed the gap a little bit. He's going to be very tight with Moonan for that second, third place.
Here's the
There
cross
they are now.
Here's the cross on screen. Oh, they've decided to
he's-
go underneath.
Bit of a lee bow there. Hopefully he can pull off a nice tack and not get rolled.
Interesting to see if they're on lay. No, they're under it.
They're under
So
it.
there's a few more tacks to get up to the
There
top.
is, yeah.
Typhoon there in the background.
Yeah, he's to leeward and advance forward. And then down below them is Eric's, isn't it?
Yeah, Eric
Eric's
Storage,
and
as we
Sutec
pan around.
there
we'll
in the
see
back
that.
of the screen.
So there's a nice little line up there. We can see Moonan above Musto, Sutec to leeward of them. And then just out of shot, we've got we've got Typhoon just stepped out in front of Sutec.
It's a great shot again of Typhoon. You can see the guys bending in and out just as the breeze fluctuates. Might be a few sore legs after yesterday and today.
I don't miss that part of it, I can assure you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another great, well, we were just looking on board there, and the people at home would have seen them really working that main, and here we are back on board with them again now. See that main coming in and out. They've got quite a bit of foot eased in the main to try and bag up some lower power into the mainsail.
See off screen we can see Southerly
Ooh.
on the port ley line,
Just get a camera round on that.
which will that's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, that could throw a cat amongst pigeons.
I
There
actually
they are, top of screen, guys.
they're going to cross Typhoon here, I think, and I reckon that they're going to be pretty bloody close to Sail Racing.
Yeah, they're not going to cross Sail Racing, but they've certainly come into the mix.
We've eaten our words there when she went around the right-hand mark and
Yeah.
out the left-hand side.
So there must be a little bit of northeast influence up there in
Yeah.
Manly, just trying to filter
Could
down.
be. And you're right, Junior. She's just managed to sneak across in front of Typhoon there, which will put them into second place.
It'll be interesting. There's a
Here's
cross
the
coming
cross,
up with
but yeah.
Moonan and well crossed Moonan and Musto.
There's
Flyer.
there they are on screen there. You
Zoe
can see Sail
Dransfield,
Racing.
Steve Cotton, Tim Lees.
That's
Yeah,
it.
I don't think it's Polehead on there, which is Steve Cotton,
Oh,
for
okay,
those
you're
watching
right.
at home.
Yep.
So, probably thinking,
I'll try and spot who's on there, Jimmy, when they come round this mark.
Well, you need binoculars, Dole, or your eyes all right?
I can see that far away. I can't see the end of my nose.
That's an
without my glasses.
That's an excellent uphill. By Zoe.
Imy's really come through.
And they went they went left as well, so.
Now, this will be an interesting little tack here. They are going to slam one in front of Zoe, and now Typhoon are going to slam one under them.
Okay, mixed up again at the top mark.
Yep.
Great little battle.
Massive gains from Imy. They were last top mark. They were, what would you say, 14, 15 or something? They were pretty deep.
But speaking to the boys, mate, that boat is slippery. They are liking that boat.
Yep.
And
New boat this year, isn't it?
Yep.
Just it's only been in the water about 3 or 4 weeks. 3 weeks, I think.
Yep.
The ones that probably hurt the most out of that was Musto, unfortunately.
Yes,
coming to the top mark.
Indeed, and Moonan.
Yep.
What's Moonan in now? They're in 5th or 6th, is it?
1, 2, 3. Good question.
Either or.
2, 3, 4. Yeah. 5th, I think. Lost count a bit there.
So we've
Eric
got
Storage and Musto just coming around.
they're around.
Here's our first Belmont boat, Light and Wonder.
Yep.
Yep.
It's a bit of a mix-up from yesterday, isn't it?
So they've sort of probably held station on their position.
Yep. The Access is coming around now. They've jumped a few spots.
Yeah, they were looking a little bit better halfway up this work, but they've just lost a couple of places, but they're still well in the mix.
We'll wait for Domino's to go around and we will make our way west.
Great set from the guys on Botany there. They had to get that done or Sutek was going to roll them.
Yeah, Sutek had a nice little wave under them too, didn't they, Dol?
They
so
did.
It was a do or die.
You got a feel for the blokes on Domino's after the solid effort yesterday. But I guess everyone's in the same boat, unfortunately.
That's right. So this is the run down to the finish.
Yep.
So fairly short race, you'd say.
Probably a warm welcome for everyone after yesterday's marathon.
Yeah, I'd suggest that, well, I wouldn't suggest, but I would think that they might, they wanted to get one away and we might see an extra lap or two thrown onto the second race today.
Yeah, sure. Just got Musto on screen there. We got Light and Wonder there, ticking along.
Most of them getting back onto that port jibe. Same again, they'll be carrying a bit of tide, taking them north from the harbour, but they're also punching into the tide that's coming out of the middle harbour.
So Typhoon's on a little letdown here, just off screen, which they're going to have a run at Sail Racing here, coming to the finish.
Yeah, I'm not going to put the commentator's curse on them, Junior.
I know. Maybe I put the commentator's curse on Sail Racing at this point last time down.
Sail Racing on starboard, and they've elected to take their stern rather than jibe on top of them. So now Sail Racing's going to jibe on top of them.
That's an interesting decision.
And they will not get through to leeward. We've got a jet catch just punched across in front of them, which I think might have been the reason that that Nathan didn't jibe and that Felix did jibe on top of him, because they were going to get mixed up with that fast ferry.
So it's a good little battle for first and second, and I'd say Zoe's hot on their heels in third.
Indeed.
In the southerly.
Yeah, well, these two get
which we can see
tangled
on
up.
screen. Yeah, she's got a good opportunity to go past them while they're not looking.
I can just see in the background there the third going to the top mark, and I'm happy to see Saffold is narrowly in front of the Ebix.
Lovely.
Great shot there
It
of
is.
these two contenders coming down to the finish.
It's on.
It is definitely on here. But I think Felix is holding a slight advantage at the moment. If he plays his cards right, I think he's a pretty smart guy. he'll lead them into this finish, but it's never over till it's over, is it, boys?
Exactly right.
There you go, Nathan's and
chosen.
Typhoon has chosen to step out.
Try him out.
He had to throw something at them.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to catch them following them in, so he's rolled the dice. I don't think he's going to be able. I don't think that second place is there to lose for him at the moment, so he's safely in second, I think. Now Sail Racing has jibed, and to me he looks like he's just about to pick up a really sweet little vein of pressure there. There's the bow coming away now.
He's still got one more jibe in him to get to the finish.
He has, and Nathan off shot has just jibed. So we'll be having a...
I think we can see Nathan there with the white kite in the background and Southerly just closely behind. So it'll be an important cross here. I'm sure Ed will be at home cheering on the Typhoon.
Yeah, they're not going to get there, I'm afraid, though, Ed. But I think the boys will be pretty happy with the second place after
the week they're there.
Or the year.
But as I say, it's never over, and they are going to be very tight on this finish.
Yeah.
You can never write off a couple of gold medalists, can you?
No, absolutely not.
Nathan's been known to ride himself off occasionally. But there you go,
Something to
Sail
say.
Racing first, Typhoon second, and Southerly hot on the heels. Well done.
That's such a good effort, Zoe.
That is.
On the Southerly.
And coming in right behind the camera cat here, we're sitting with our stern to the fleet, is the Imey.
We didn't get a visual on who's in the middle on the Southerly, did we?
No, I've
It'd
never...
be nice to find out and give them a shout out.
Yeah, for sure. So
If
that's
somebody knows at home, if they could let us know.
that's a big comeback from the Imey there.
Yeah. Yep. You can't count those guys out either.
No, definitely not. Never. Never.
And next to be crossing the line will be Moon and Yachts.
A lot of familiar Manly boats up there today. Is that top five Manly?
It is indeed. And I'll add that my pick and my roughie were second and third. So pay up, boys.
So there's a few boats coming in for a tight finish here. Eric's removals, Eric's storage, bringing them in.
There they all are on shot there. There's Eric's
Dominoes, what a recovery from
Sutek,
him.
Dominoes, Light and Wonder, and Botany Access, with Mustos crammed in the middle there.
Domino's going to get through the finish, or they're going to have to jibe back.
Take paint.
Yeah, no, they're going to have a
gonna
little
get there
soak.
anyway.
They'll be right.
Interestingly, they've just pipped out Light and Wonder, which is the exact opposite of yesterday's race.
Yep. Mustos.
Oh, they're going to get that kite around or not?
Yeah, Botany are going to sneak through there.
Yeah, they are. Oh.
Botany Access for my money there.
Yeah, they
boys.
have.
They grabbed that.
The first of the red boats to follow.
Yeah, the first of the pumpers.
And,
Red Pumps Red.
yeah, red pups red.
There we are on screen there. There's the red pumps red.
So Zoe's currently leading.
Bragging
The
rights for the
Dransfield Championships is
That's
currently
right.
being led by Zoe. So
Pretty impressive.
Exceptionally so.
And she's just stepped on, you were saying, for this regatta.
yeah, she so Matt was away and he got Zoe in to steer the boat.
To fill in.
And I think he's seen the brilliance of her ability and his workload this week and went, Zoe, the boat is yours for the Nationals, which
That's
is great.
fantastic,
Which is
yeah.
Matt Trigline.
And it's good to see Capital Partners up there today.
Capital Brewing, we're working on them
Capital
as
Brewing.
a
Capital
beer
Brewing.
sponsor for us on here, mate.
Oh,
So just
well,
get it
we
right.
give them a good write-up. Capital Brewing.
Capital Brewing. Then I think we've got the fluid coming in, and you better talk these next guys up, mate.
Yeah, who are they? Yeah, Tribeca. That's a better day than yesterday, so I think the boys will be happy with that. I'm still just trying to work the boat out. We were on the water a little bit late this season, so just putting the pieces together, but I think they'll be happy with that.
Yeah. That's a not reasonable start to a long regatta.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we've got Skelton and CMG just in front of RW Marine.
RW Retail.
RW Retail, sorry. Yeah, and then Employment Hero there, you can see with the logo on the kite, with Outback Marine. Now, we've got these guys all on starboard here.
Outback Marine, I think, is going to sneak through here.
She is going to sneak through. Great job, Georgia.
Excellent work,
Georgia looked
guys.
like a jockey going to the finish there.
She did. And Infinity
Melbourne
Rigging's
Cup.
going to do the same as well.
Just put the blinkers on, boys. Go
And
for it.
my young bloke's going to benefit here, I think.
Yeah.
He's going to. He's got these guys on starboard, but he needs to soak and stick his
He's
nose
done
over there.
exactly
done
what
that
you've
well.
told him to, mate.
That was a great job.
And SKE snuck in there as well.
SKE, RW, CFG, Noakes,
High
Blue.
fives on the Employment Hero. The boys are happy with that.
They're smiling
Noakes
as
Blue.
usual.
Oh,
Couple of boats shebang down the other end of the line, which we probably missed.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nozomi is
Nozomi going
next.
through now. Yep.
Here comes the next tight battle.
So we've got the fire truck. We've got Cunningham's.
And Chubbs.
Chubbs is going to. Oh,
Chubbs,
that was
for my
pretty
money,
tight.
and then fire stopping.
Edina. Adida.
Yeah, and Cunningham's.
And next we've got a couple of Middle Harbour boats. So the one with the red dot is Kamikaze. They got in a bit of a tangle with Kingy yesterday, didn't they?
Yep. That's
and
one of the old fire trucks, Dol.
It
is
is.
it?
It's
That
the,
was
the Chinese fire truck.
Yeah, that
right.
was the
Nice.
fire stopping junk.
Yep.
Hence the red jib.
And to windward of them is MH44. And I'll tell you, for them, that is an exceptional result.
Exceptional result.
That is a very old boat.
Trenny
old-
Wildman rebuilt that.
Trent did rebuild that, but that's an old Colmar boat.
As we-
And
As we pan around, we're going to see red pumps and Noakes coming down, which is
A race that they both want to forget.
yes.
Both
yes.
are very, very competitive teams, and
that is not where they expect to be.
Absolutely not.
Now, Bruce has done something pretty funky here. I'm not sure why he's jibed there, because he's going to miss the finish line. What?
Red pump's not finishing. That's interesting.
I'm not sure what they're thinking there. We better get out of their way.
Just going to back up here.
then
It's
Tagara crossing the finish
Tagara,
line.
yeah, another St George boat. Good to see them. Josh Tasker, Sam Monkhouse,
Big
and
Sammy.
Timmy Narborough, Big Sammy. They will probably be wanting to forget that one today also.
Pete Leary. Real estate next across the line for Middle Harbour. Then is this Bartley Constructions?
It is, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a horrible
So interestingly,
result there for the red
so
pumps.
red pumps are now finishing. So
They are. They missed that.
did they maybe do a 360 in that, or
No,
I mean,
Bruce is dirty at it.
He just misjudged it, I think.
He's having a bit of a
of a
discussion
meltdown.
going on there. We'll leave that be.
yeah,
And here's Beth on the Konami, sailing very well. Obviously, would have liked a bit better result.
Yeah, she's just going to sneak across in front of the man flu from Middle Harbour. The two Staback brothers and Fergus, who's the son of Nick. Andrew Staback, a former national champion, who the next race will be named after, sailing a seer.
wow, right.
Another elder statesman of the class.
Plenty of them around.
At what age does that happen?
I think you reach elder status at 60.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a fireball just finishing.
Yep, the young
Followed
boy.
by 4X Gold.
Yep, you're right, and it's a pretty tight battle. And I've put the commentator's curse on the girls, I think.
Oh, what colour are they?
They're the yellow one here,
Right,
so
okay. Oh.
it's pretty tight.
It's pretty tight. You know.
They're coming in hot.
It's going to be a close finish between the Bartley, the Ebix, and the
Ebix
Botany Cranes.
Ebix has
Scaffolds,
managed
this
to...
one?
Yeah.
Scaffolds.
They've sold the cranes side of it.
They have, that's right. And Justin will
Jimmy
surely send me a message to
Jimmy
correct me
hasn't
on
got us
that.
very nicely locked. Can we edge forward a bit here, Jimmy?
We are, mate, we are.
And I think Bartley's going to just, talk about a close finish.
Oh, dear, look at that. So I've got
Oh.
Bartley, Botany, Scaffold,
I think
then Ebix.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I'll leave you to call that.
That was a great finish.
And
Great to see the
Shed Real
girls getting
Estate.
up there.
Marilyn Sorensen in the
Sorensen.
Sheds Real Estate.
And Eric Storage here on screen.
And not too many more 16s to finish. We've got Eric Storage, we've got No Sense, and is that Joe Walsh rigging without a spinnaker, I think.
Yeah. And I think this is WeatherTech in the green kite.
Yes.
They're coming down as well. I
Yeah.
think they got tangled up at the start. Yeah.
Yeah, and look, they're another very young crew too.
Yeah, sure.
They've just stepped into a boat.
Yep. Plenty of growth to come, which is great.
Yep. Good to see the youngsters having a crack.
Yep.
Bit of a gap to the rest of the 13 fleet.
It is.
Yeah, so on screen there now is the WeatherTech 16. They're bringing up the back of the fleet. They'll be in a pretty close finish, though. I think they'll get in front of the No Sense. And then we've got a real gaggle of 13s coming in after them. Looks like we've got Plonk, Cybertech, then Fluid.
Little Donny.
Donnie and Liam in the Fluid. And we've got Theo and Kobe. Kobe Napper in the Cybertech.
Mate, he walked past me yesterday, I can't believe they go and stand him in a manure patch or something.
Yeah, I'm
shot up.
I'm not sure who his father is, to be honest. Jimmy. Sorry, Holly. We know. Yeah, I think he's got a pretty good appetite from what I've seen.
Yeah, so...
And he's got more to go. If you have a look at his feet, he's got feet like Ronald McDonald.
He acts up like Ronald McDonald, I can assure you.
Yeah.
So there's a Plonk from Middle Harbour crossing the finish line.
Yeah, well sailed by those guys.
Yep.
Tacker, if he's watching.
Yep, so they'll be fourth in the 13-foot skiffs.
Yesterday, Dolo caught up with young James Hopkins off the Ebix and had a bit of a chat with him. Wonder if we've got that video ready to go. We can fire that up.
Hoppo, one of the favourites, I believe, for the 13-foot skiffs on the mighty Ebix.
Yeah, it puts a bit of pressure on, but I love a bit of pressure and should be good regatta.
You're listening to your sister?
Yeah, we got good
that's
communication out there. It's awesome.
Yeah. So yesterday was a bit full on. So today, heat one.
Yeah, we went out yesterday for a bit, just a bit of a spin in the wind and just test out the stuff, have a bit of fun. Got most of the way up, then just had a cut and come back in, so we didn't break anything. But today it looks like there's a bit less on, and the swell looks like it's going to be down a little bit. So it should be an awesome day for a bit of racing, and hopefully we'll get around the track, not breaking anything.
Great stuff, Hoppo. All the best for the regatta, brother.
Thank you.
And we'll see you out there.
There you go. What a little character that bloke is, mate.
He is. So James, I've coached him all the way through his sailing career, and he crewed for Will back in the day, Manly Juniors, and he's a very, very smart young man, I have to tell you, which is why he's a good sailor. He works it out. Very intelligent young guy.
He's worked it out just to listen to Gemma, hasn't he? That's his role for this week.
Well, Gemma's a pretty handy little sailor too, yeah, and the two of them. Often the sibling thing doesn't work, in my experience as a coach, but some families seem to make it work. So there's a few more 13s coming in now. So that's number 9
From Karingai
from
Hornsby.
Karingai. They're a bigger crew, so today wouldn't have suited them as much, but I'm sure they'll come back in the next race.
Live wire, next one.
Yeah. Yeah, he was the injured. He's been a bit knocked around this regatta already, the crew on number 9. So we had live wire after them. Then 45, we've got
QED.
QED, is it? Yep.
Yep.
Next up, we've got 44 coming through the finish, and followed by 27. You got boat names for them, Jimmy?
That I don't. All I've got is
44 and 27.
44 and 27 it is.
Yes, yeah. The young guys who've come to the Skiff Club from next door at the Yacht Club. Next one up here is the Manly Sailing sponsored boat. So that's the sailing school and charter company which operates next door to the Skiff Club. And that looks good for those guys. Good for them to get a race under their belt. They've been sailing a lot, those guys. I'm sure you've seen them at the club, Jimmy.
I don't go there very often.
Can't you see the rigging deck from the table of knowledge?
Oh, it's a bit hard when you got to get back to it, but you've got a sore neck. But yeah, no. Just noticing that Manly Sailing one, that got a lot more rake on their setup than the other boats.
In their rig, have
Yeah.
they? Yeah.
Which,
Obviously
wouldn't be helping them today.
Obviously haven't seen Baz.
You could do the intro, couldn't you?
Is Keegan asking for beer or water?
Yeah, well, we're not. We don't carry enough water to supply the fleet, so you start giving one out, you've got to give it out to everyone.
So that's everybody finished, and I don't think we've seen anyone go home, have we? So
And I'm just noticing out to the left, Dole, NHS is on their way back out to the race course. So
they've got a spinnaker pole from somewhere. That's good to see, eh?
It is great to see.
disappointing for them for the first keeper of the series that we've had.
Oh.
But
yeah, not a great start.
I don't know, maybe they've been hanging out with the boys on Typhoon too much.
Yeah. But yeah, always a bit of a danger when you're coming in that lineup from behind and you've got nowhere to put your bow.
Yeah.
Stuff like that can bring you unstuck.
Easily go wrong.
So the start line has just gone live again. Flags up to declare the start line open. Predictions, boys? How many are we going to go to black flag again, or what do you think?
I think they'll get to it. Yeah. Yep. You reckon they'll put it up first time round?
No, he won't put it up first time round, but I don't think he'll give them too many chances.
Sounds like it's going to be a 3-lapper.
3-lapper.
Yeah. Thought they might tack an extra one on, and we don't need to rush back to the club.
Still less laps than yesterday.
Definitely.
So they've
even in total.
I know.
Yes.
just got a message through that they've just loaded the Matana, our club start boat. They've loaded that up, which we're not using in official capacity this week. They've just loaded that up with a bunch of kids.
All the kids. Yeah.
Awesome. We see that on our travels. We'll go past and get them to all wave.
That'd be great.
Get them involved. And this race 3, is in honour of the ASEA, which was Gav Jones, as you alluded to before, Andrew Stabik, Ann Vital, and Phil Van Laren.
That's right.
There's the mighty team there.
Yep, and they won 2 nationals, I think, back to back.
Yep.
And back in the non-asymmetric days.
Yes.
Back, a lot of people say that's when they were real skiffs. Jibe the pole and and all that stuff.
The what?
You guys are too young to remember.
I did 2 seasons with that Dolph, so don't.
You were definitely a fourth hand if you were doing that, Jimmy.
No, my last year was Evan and Mark Graham, so that was. I remember trying to push the pole out, and Evan, who was a big unit back in the day, he's pulling the brace, and I'm trying to push against him, and it's hard enough as it was. But
yeah, they were a pretty handy team on the ASEA back then, and Gavin Jones, not only a very smart sailor, but a very smart guy at designing and setting up his boats. And I remember that boat was, in its era, an absolute rocket ship, and it was well sailed as well, obviously. But yeah, very nice boat, and that was an era when they had some serious competition too. There were some very good guys sailing 16-foot skiffs back then. So they weren't easy titles to win, and if you can win one back-to-back, win 2 back-to-back, they certainly proved their ability. And as I said, Andrew Stabak, or Gumpo is affectionately known, he's out here on the man flu, and I believe he is about to turn 60. So good on him for still sailing on the sheet of a 16. Better man than me.
The only one madder than him would be Woody, still sailing the 18.
Yeah, Woody's a freak.
He is indeed.
Yeah, and not only sailing an 18, but sailing one exceptionally
Very well. Yes.
Yeah.
Up there with the best. Well, it is the best of them.
Exactly. Yeah, he sails he sails the historics on the Saturday and the modern on a Sunday. There's my girls on screen. They're the botany scaffold, second place in that first race. They will be ecstatic with that. They were an absolute bundle of nerves this morning.
It's interesting. You were saying earlier today that they perform in this weather. I've been speaking with Justin, the sponsor, and he is very impressed with their results.
Yeah, great.
Very happy with them.
We've got Zoe and the boys on screen there now. I cannot make out who that is in the bow. Oh, I know who it is. It is Jamie Stoddart, son of Hugh Stoddart.
Oh, there you go.
And once again, very, very handy young fella.
Yeah.
Yep.
Talent pool just keeps on getting sprinkled in.
So does that mean we've got 2 families both in front of each other? The Dransfields are in front of the Stoddards.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
There's a lot of bragging rights going down today. So there we go. We've got a
5 minutes.
Class flag up for 5 minutes. What are you seeing out there, Junior?
It looks like it's sort of, I wouldn't say freshened, but it's sort of a little bit more stable now, probably sort of in the 7 to 8 knots.
Our sailmon's gone off, Jimmy.
It has, yeah.
No, she's dead.
Oh, she's gone down.
She's gone down.
So I can't give you an accurate wind reading, but I reckon you're pretty much bang on there.
So interestingly, it looks like to me that they've even brought that pin boat a little bit further forward than they had last time.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Just to even that up a little bit more, maybe.
Yeah. Personally, I reckon he could bring it forward another
keep them
10 metres or so to keep them
far off the 4-minute sound signals here. There we go, 4 minutes.
Straight back into it. No messing about.
So off that form guide from our last race, boys, what are we thinking?
I think I'm going to have to go Typhoon.
Oh,
I'm jumping you.
shouldn't have given
Jumping in the ship with you.
I shouldn't have given you first option, should I?
Well, you opened your mouth.
So just on screen there now is the NHS.
They're going to be my pick. They're my pick for this race.
Oh, okay.
I reckon they're going to come back swinging.
Yeah, come out punching.
Yep.
Hopefully not punching before the start again.
Yes.
So Dorso's another young fella from Belmont that I've watched come through the Flying 11 fleet and stuff. And
very talented.
Very talented young guy. Polite, lovely young guy.
Always comes up and says hello, shakes my hand, and always offers his services. He's just a great kid.
Yeah. Handy crew.
Very handy crew.
So they're your pick, are they, Junior?
They are.
Oh, jeepers. You guys aren't leaving with too many options, are you? Yeah, well, maybe the sail racing could come into play again. I think it could be a tight battle amongst all those boats again. But once again, it depends who gets off the line. And we saw the IME come back. They were pretty deep.
Yep.
Look, I'll throw them in there.
All right. So
I'll throw them into the mix.
Yep.
I don't know that they're going to win it, but I'll throw them into the mix, seeing Jimmy stole Typhoon off
I didn't steal them. I was jumping on board with you. You should see the WhatsApp chat group for Typhoon. There's about 30 people on it.
How about a roughie? Who's got a rough outsider?
How about Ruffy for the Ruffy?
Ruffy for the Ruffy?
Moon and Yachts for the Ruffy.
Yeah?
I'd keep an eye on Noakes. I reckon they're going to come back firing too.
Bounce back?
Yeah, come back angry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That boat goes faster the angrier Mackie gets, and I reckon he'll be angry.
He might pull on the sheet so hard he breaks it.
Just a recap of the first race today. Heat 2 was first across the line was Sail Racing. Second was Typhoon. Third was Southerly. Fourth ended up being Miami. And
The fifth went to Moonan.
fifth to Moonan. So, yeah, it was. That's the recap, and the results should be up pretty soon on the Skiff website. Jack will be pumping them out.
He's got that dialed in now. He has it pretty well sorted not long after the races are finished.
He loves a bit of technology,
He
Jack.
does.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's good at it too.
So we're just looking a bit of a shot on down the line there now.
Perfect.
There we go.
We're a little bit out on the clock. Half a second.
We'll let that slide, eh?
Just this once.
Now, I'd like to think with under a minute to go, this time they're not as eager as they were last time for those recalls.
Seems like their boat end, a lot of boats at the boat end again.
Yeah, it's still favoured.
Yeah.
I think that you're right, that pin has come up a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're all looking quite reserved this time. Sail Racing is probably the closest boat to the line right at the boat. He wants to be careful. If someone tucks him underneath him there, he's going to have nowhere to go, and he's got botany access right underneath him. What do you think, boys?
Green here, red pumps has been squeezed out at the boat. Not going to be too happy about that, old Bruce. And off they go. Noakes, very good off the line
Very
there.
good start, yep.
Tribeca has also got their nose in front, which is good to see.
Nice, yep. Chapo on the windward end, he's really putting the squeeze on Sail Racing.
He is, yeah.
We've got Capital Brewing having to tack out right at the boat end.
First boat to bail out.
Fire stopping right at the boat there. They're a little bit late, but they've got a lane at least.
Sail Racing's had to go there as well, as you were saying, the Zombie sort of squeezing them out.
Yeah.
They've had to flop back.
But, they might be looking to get to that right-hand side early again.
Yeah.
But as we saw on that second lap in the last race, don't discount this left-hand side,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. We did, didn't we?
Yeah.
Looks like that's the direction that most of the boats are going. The boats that started down the pen look like they're advancing a little quicker. Be interesting to see what happens when they flop over onto port.
Yeah, nice shot looking down the line there now at the lineup of boats. Beautiful shot. Look at the colour of the water there.
What a place to be, eh? Manly just absolutely turning it on.
Yeah, it's an absolute cracker of a day. Not a massive amount of pressure, but a beautiful day. Being a Monday, I think a lot of people have gone back to work today.
Yeah.
It's probably the quietest day I've seen on the harbour for a couple of weeks, wouldn't you say, Jimmy?
Oh, mate, it's a blessing, I tell you. It's like when we filmed the JJs during the week, Dole. It's nice not to be.
Yeah, it's completely different, isn't it?
360-degree vision of in my head.
Head on a swivel.
We got Noakes Blue and Wishard there on screen, I think. marching out to the left. There's Light and Wonder and Kamikaze.
The Noakes Blue right down this leeward end.
Yep.
They look like they're just trying to punch for a bit of pace there and
Yeah.
leg it out as quickly as they can. Definitely softer on. Look at the patchiness on this side of the course. You can see it in the drone shot there.
Yep.
Change in the watercolour. We're now a long way from the right hand side of the track, but certainly looking a little bit softer on this left hand side. But
Right.
we saw last time. I think there might be a bit of a lift on this side, even if you're down pressure.
It's interesting. There's been a big split in the fleet. We've got Moonen on screen now, basically electing to go hard left, and right over it, just out of screen on the left, there is Sal Racing. And they are hard right. You can just see the black stripe on their sail. So it'll be
Looks like
interesting
they're
to
going
see.
around Shark Island. They're that far down the harbour.
It'll be interesting to see when they come back to meet to see who comes out on top.
Yeah, and you know, Ruffy's not silly. He
No.
wouldn't come to this side if he didn't think there was something over here. Well, the three of them aren't silly, I should say.
Yeah.
And you can see them on shot there now.
And we got Musto and Imey following suit, so
Yeah.
you know it's
And Typhoon right behind them.
okay.
They might see something over this side.
Scott Burns here. Right,
Yeah.
so we're just panning over the fleet on the right hand side of the course now.
Very technical of you, Junior.
Yeah, well, you know that's what I do. That's what I bring to the table, you know. Sal Racing is tacked back onto starboard and they're coming back across.
The old saying, never leave your wingman. They well and truly have left their wingman.
They sure have.
Someone's going to be right and someone's going to be wrong. But I've got to say, Ruffy is looking very nice on this side, and we've got we've got the split screen there
They've
now.
all just
Thank
lifted
you.
on this side, Dole, so
Yeah, but they're still on starboard, Jimmy. You want to
Yeah.
be knocking about now, I'd reckon.
that's what you're praying for.
Yeah.
Sal Racing looks pretty good on screen there too. I mean, they're both moving through the water pretty nicely.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be a very good battle.
Just
What do you
like,
think of this shot on screen, Dole? Spitting a set, fender well trimmed.
she's an absolute glamour. I like how they're dragging that leeward fender too. It's nicely trimmed.
Takes a lot of skill to trim a fender.
It's good leeward helm, you know, just drags it to leeward a little bit. So we've got
Yes.
Imey and Moonen coming in for a cross here, and it looks like Imey's won this one.
Yep.
Typhoon and Moonen are going to meet next, and it looks like Typhoon's going to cross them as well. Just going to see Tribeca on screen just taking the stern of Moonen.
There they are.
Fingers crossed the left-hand side pays then, because they're out on the left-hand side.
Sound like a nervous, expecting father, Junior.
Oh, it is a bit like that sometimes.
Yeah, well, that boat is a bit of a new delivery, isn't it?
It is, it sure is.
Recent delivery.
It is. So we've got a little bit of breeze here on the shore. Imey's just tacked into
Imey's
it.
just tacked it. They've gone there just because there's a little puff there, which hopefully is going to get them out of this little bit of a lighter corner. But there they are. They're crouched in. One in the boat on both Typhoon
And we can see right in the background there's a ferry, and that's Sal Racing just on the nose of the ferry now. Here we're just getting him on screen. I think NHS is even further to the right of them, still heading out on Port Tack.
right. Yeah.
So this will definitely be interesting.
It's one of the faster ferries though, so it's clearing through.
It doesn't have the same rights as the big ferry.
It
Yeah.
doesn't either. No.
No.
And doesn't cast as big a shadow or throw as big a wash either.
Correct.
So.
Correct. You'll
Mind
see-
you, the new Emerald Class 2, the groundswell it throws is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But when you're in close proximity to it, it doesn't seem so bad. But
Yeah.
little battle on here for Moonen and Imey. They've tacked back into the shore.
Yeah.
Obviously seen something, maybe on the headland there.
And you can see them there. They're in very close proximity, and
Typhoon in the background deciding to split away and
yeah,
maybe rejoin with the fleet.
Moonan can't tack out of there until Imey does, and there goes Imey now. Okay, we're back on the other side of the course with sail racing, and yeah, you can see the boats in the distance there, but until they start to close some gauge, it's a little hard to tell how everyone's doing.
It is indeed.
To me, this side at the moment's looking good, wouldn't you say, Jimmy?
Yep. Yeah, for my liking.
Your boat Typhoon there is.
We're sharing it if you like, Dol.
They got out of this corner a bit before these other guys and got the pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
So
there's a good shot of sail racing and Typhoon just to put into perspective as they come together.
This
and I think you
breeze
guys
has lightened
might be
off
right.
a lot up here near this top mark.
yeah, where we are in this little corner here, Jimmy. But as I say, you look at Typhoon. They got out a little earlier, and they're two strings stretched out.
Yeah, and they're jumping ahead at the moment.
They are.
They really are. They look like they're extending. Botany Access just there on screen now as well. They're sort of jumping along.
They're having a good day.
They're having a cracker of a day.
Yeah.
No, the sponsors here.
They are. The sponsors are out on the Aloha today. I'm sure they're enjoying a few...
Cleansing ales.
no, probably lemonades, I think. So, yeah, they're just starting to close on each other now, and it's going to be fairly close still.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Typhoon has headed a bit, and just as I picked that they'd headed, they tacked,
Decided to come back.
which tells me they were heading.
New breeze here just to the left of the camera boat where we are at the moment, Dol.
Just circling around the top mark, isn't it?
Yeah. That will also help them. Typhoon sailing over towards that pressure that Jimmy's talking about.
I think at the moment they're the leader on the course.
Yeah. But still a few tacks in this yet for them to get up to this mark.
It's Typhoon back on the port board now. Going to have another look at sail racing. But I think it's a pretty easy cross there.
Being a light day today, they probably took their gold medals out of their pockets.
Put them in the bow, you reckon, keep the nose down.
Yeah.
Nathan's replica.
Nathan was missing one for a little while. He must have taken it sailing.
And here we go, Typhoon.
So they've
clearly ahead here for the first top mark round.
Short little tack for their final approach. Here we go for a set. Let's see how they do, boys.
Away they go.
Set the Imagine signage.
That's it.
Spinnaker.
Yep, shout out to Scotty if he's watching.
Scotty, who does pretty much everyone's signage on skiffs these days.
He does.
And does a great job.
Does an excellent job.
Yeah.
So we've just got Moonan tucked up here underneath Sail Racing, but Sail Racing's just going to gently roll down over the top of him to take the second spot. Moonan coming in third. It's good to see coming onto screen shortly. Noakes are going to round in fifth, which is great.
Exceptional set from Matty and Gus there. Let's see how Robbo goes here, Jimmy.
No problem.
Once again, exceptional.
Noakes having a better second race.
Yeah.
Body access right behind him.
Yeah.
Eric's removal and storage. They're having a fabulous regatta.
They are.
Then your boys, Jimmy.
And the Tribeca.
Yep, they're having a cracker.
It's good.
Hugh Stoddard in the Musto with the boys. All little slip there from Niall.
The first Belmont boat. Skelcon.
And we've got Infinity Rigging from St George coming around.
So the first
Lachlan,
Belmont boat's
Bryce and
currently in
Jerome.
10th for the boys up there watching.
Next round is Southerly. Kite going up there, they're on screen. Bit of a rag on the kite, but they've got it going now. It's the Sutec boys, followed by Fluid and CMG. The CMG, Jimmy, is that Sarah Lee's old boat?
No.
No?
The Light and Wonder is the old
Light
Sarah Lee
Wonder's
boat.
Sarah's
Yeah.
old boat.
Yeah.
So I've just put the commentator's curse on them because they're about to...
Get some prawns for lunch.
they've got about 10 kilos of tiger prawns there, I think.
Just 10.
Definitely have to go and see them for a platter this afternoon.
Well, you'd know what's in the harbour, Donny Bagnote.
Yes, mate. Yeah, haven't seen too many prawns lately.
Just confirming, this is a 3-lap course this way race, so still plenty of action to go
Yeah.
and not much pressure.
Now, this is where we were talking about this corner under North Head here. It's a really fine line here, and I've made the mistake many times of going too far. To me, Skelcon is going in too far.
Yep, they're right on the dial, aren't they? But
Yeah.
I think they're locked out here, Don.
Yeah.
Infinity Rigging's deciding to jive
So
out now.
he's gone, which will allow these guys to get out of there too, but they're going to be very soft for about 50, 100 metres here.
Yeah.
And you end up being bow up while everyone gets carted down here. They've just picked up a little puff there, might get them out of here. High risk. So looking down the course, we can see on the drone shot there, we've got, you can see Typhoon is pretty well stepped out there with Sail Racing still giving chase. Long way to go in this race yet, though.
Yeah.
Lovely drone shot there while we're just charging. Jimmy's taking us down the course to catch up with these leaders after we watched all the top mark roundings. And look at that, there's hardly a boat on the harbour except for 16-foot skiffs. It's fantastic out here.
How it should be, right?
Yeah.
No cruise liners.
Hopefully they're not coming out until later, Junior.
So you can see Typhoon have just sort of extended a little more, I think, down on this run. Sail Racing and I'm in hot pursuit.
Yeah, those trailing boats, they've got a little puff now, which is just bring them down. Sail Racing definitely making the most of it, and you can see them now. They've just pulled a little bit of depth on the other guys as they've picked up a bit of pressure. And Typhoon a bit further out in front, they're looking a little bit soft. Bows coming up on Typhoon there.
Moonan's decided for a jibe to come back at the Sail Racing. Just on screen, just on the right of the screen. And Typhoon follows suit.
Yeah, they've gone now. I think that little puff has finally got down to them. They were a bit soft there for a couple of 100 metres.
Yeah.
There they are there, you can see they're not super powered up still, they're still waiting for some pressure to come down. Just starting to get going now. And now they're fully stretched. We're looking at them from leeward there, head on, but from the windward side you can see that they're both crews stretched out trying to get maximum horsepower out of that boat. And they've picked a very nice ley line down to the gate.
What do you reckon, Dolly? What side are they going to go?
I would say they're going to sneak a little jibe in, and that'll give them a drop, which will put the kite in the right side of the bag for when they come around the top mark next time. They won't have to do a windward set.
Very calculated.
Yeah.
They've got enough time to think about that too, with the lead they've got.
They're hanging on, they're hanging on. They're, just to prove me wrong, I think they're probably going to go to this right-hand mark, I think. But
They seem to do pretty well out on that left-hand side uphill, so
Yep.
it makes sense to sort of go back out there.
the result of that, those are windward set at the top,
yeah,
right?
true, very true.
Hate that.
That's why you're a good showdown dog.
Mal's got that tucked away nicely, ready to go around.
Interesting, Nath, well back in the boat there.
I think just making sure he wasn't under an elbow
Yeah,
from
giving-
a certain Zach Barnabas, mate.
Giving the boys plenty of room, and once again, nice shot looking into the back of the boat there. You're pretty much on board there for that drop to see how the mechanics of the top crews work.
So it'll be interesting between, I think Sail Racing's going to sneak in front of Moonan for the second place.
Yeah, they're going to have a real pressure drop here though. Jive drop. No, they're going to
They've
go
got-
for the windward drop.
Moonan's going to try and sneak around a late drop and sneak around the outside. Oh, not quite. And Imee,
Watch the rigs, fellas.
Oh, this is very tight.
very tight.
He's given him room, but only
Yeah.
only just enough.
Look, there's no need to argue. They're both sort of fighting for second and third. It just cause themselves more mischief if they get tangled up. So
Yeah.
And Imee going around the other mark right as we speak.
Yep. We're just panning across to have a look at them now. There they are.
And Eric's launched.
they are having a great regatta.
Yeah, so that is the Imee boat that the Imee boys have just given up.
Yeah.
Peter Timworth bought that, and interesting, we were talking about it this morning. They would have been foolish if they touched any of those settings when they picked up the boat.
Absolutely.
I would have left everything exactly where it was.
Seems to be paying dividends at the moment. They had a great, normally they perform a little bit better in the lighter air, but they really put on a performance yesterday.
Yeah.
I was speaking to Nathan because we got right beside him and he goes, Has said, the camera's on us. And he goes, I just didn't need the camera on me then. It was like when Baz used to come out and bark at us stuff. And he had to work his ring all out for about 2 minutes that we were on him.
The Eric's guys put in, though, time on the water.
They do.
They do.
Yeah.
So on the mark over on the right-hand side, we've just had Noakes just
Access.
lead Botany Access around.
And Tribeca coming around this mark with
A bit of
Skelcon.
a few kite issues there. Can't get it in. Not in the Howie it
Not
looks
in
to
the
be.
Howie.
Oh, boys.
Knit one, pearl one.
That's it.
Skelcon up to, I believe, 8th. My counting's going right.
Yeah, not too far off that, I think.
Then we've got the Southerly once again having a pretty good race. Not in third place this time, but they could pull another top
Plenty
10
of time
finish
to go,
in.
mate.
Yeah,
True, mate. Yeah.
well in front of her older brother.
Yes, not a great day for
The red boats.
the pumps.
Musto coming around the mark now. Kites away in the bag, and off they go. Tribeca sailing off there still without two people on the wire. Looks like they've just fixed it now.
And we were talking about these guys in the last race,
Oh,
MH44.
Having a blind
I
today.
think they are.
They are
yeah.
having an absolute cracker in this one. So we're just hearing that Ebix is in the 13s has just gone around the top mark in first place. We did pass them on the way down, and it was a pretty closely fought tussle once again. But they're just on their first lap, so first beat.
How much are we putting on the this race, boys? Because my NHS is deep, very deep.
I think it was $1,000 or something.
Yeah.
I'll swim home.
Long way for you to swim, mate.
Yeah, long way to St George.
Yeah, we've got a St George boat, Tugara, just coming around the mark now. Boys,
Sam
would
G
like to-
after getting lunch.
Yeah, they probably would like to be a little bit further up, but we've got time to go.
Who was the second 13 round the top there? Okay, I'm not sure who that was. And the botany scaffold girls were around in third.
Sheer line around in second, in the 13s, and then botany.
There's Chubbs. Nice little rounding there. And we have a real gaggle of boats about to come in, and we may just see a little bit of carnage here.
Led by is it Outback Marine? Led by Georgia Clancy there.
Outback Marine, RW Retail.
Yeah, I think she's clean. She'll get clean round, but
Red Pumps is going around the left-hand mark. Red Pumps Red is trying. They're just over here with the Noakes,
and they cannot jibe there. They've got Noakes Blue on starboard. He'll just stick it in there, shall he? He's called room.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he's probably got it. Fair enough.
Well, he's got it now.
Yeah. He's got to get around without hitting that mark.
Need an instant
Got to get the
replay
speaker
there.
all the way in the bag.
Nicely,
Keegan
Georgia
Gilly,
Clancy.
offering friendly advice everywhere. Very calm bloke, isn't he, Dom?
Yeah.
And
if he hits you, you stay hit.
yeah. Oh, sort of
Shouts of protest
Few
from
hails of protest, yeah.
our Drummoyne boat.
Dender.
From Light and Wonder.
Yeah, the Light and Wonder, they've got a bit deep in this one, haven't they?
And SKE Electrical, and the Fire stopping after a shocking start, going around at the same time as your boy, as young Will on the other mark.
On the other mark, yep. Looks like they've got a knot in the halyard as well. That actually turned out all right. That looked like it was going to be carnage for a minute there.
Yeah.
At least in this much air, when you have a bit of a tangle up, hopefully nothing too serious happens.
Tell that to NHS, eh?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get trucking back up to. All right, we'll go find the 13s. Land on that. Have a quick look at the 13s on the way up.
They got a pretty good turnout for the regatta.
Yep, 15 or 18 boats, which is great.
Yeah, so it looks like we've got Ebix in front, and the lime green kite is the fluid young guys.
Yeah, Donnie.
That's Donnie and Liam. So we've got Gemma and James in front in the Ebix.
It's the brother and sister combo.
It is, yeah.
Yep, the Hoppos.
And then, Don and Liam, and then Bella and Sophie in third place.
Fantastic.
Looks like number Shearline in fourth, which is Orlando.
What, Westy sponsoring a Manly boat?
Mate, that boat's I think's been kicking around the shed at Middle Harbour, and Orlando, who's a 29er sailor, got a bit of a taste for the 13 sailing with James Hopkins in the state titles while Gemma wasn't able to sail. And they actually won that regatta. So he was looking for a boat to do the regatta, and it's good to have another kid getting hooked on the skiffs. Get him out of the 29er a little bit.
Second place here in the 13 style.
Yep.
And Plonk, Botany and Fluid.
We've just got Bartley on the screen now.
Yeah, that's the Bartley on the screen, Bartley 13. That's Amy Bentley steering that boat. We're just making our way up the course again. And just trying to have a look at the breeze up here. It looks similar to what it was before, do you think, boys?
Yeah.
But nothing much changing, right?
A little less patchy, maybe, but much the same.
Some of the boats really punching hard in under North Head.
Almost too far.
Yeah, we've just got Tribeca on the screen there.
Skelcon,
I
little
just can't get
Skelcon.
past.
They're not.
Moment.
Tribeca have tacked out a little bit earlier, which is what Typhoon did last time. We've got
Skelcon taking full advantage of coming right into the rocks.
right into the rocks, and geez,
Imey.
Imey, I think they're getting a couple of oysters for
Yeah.
lunch. They are that close. Very tight into the rocks.
Not a lot of depth there.
Typhoon is
Typhoon.
out in the middle.
Gone.
And they
They
have
are
punched
gone.
out. Yeah. Yeah. So
It's
they
good to see. It's good to see them up there.
Just around to the left of us, while we're waiting for our clear gap, is the Matana with all the kids on board. There they are.
There
Give us
they
a
are.
wave,
They're giving
kids,
us
you
a-
goody. There they all are.
all the young kids that I've been coaching for many years. Say go Manly.
Excellent to see.
Young
So
little
the-
T Manly there. Yeah, beauty. And there's some signs being held up by the kids, which is great.
Yeah. And great bunch of kids they are. They all love their sailing, and they'll be itching to jump on a 16 for the sail back to the club.
We just got the camera on Typhoon and just
Just
cleared
going
out.
around the top mark. Are they? Yep, here they are, bearing away. Just went past Happiness there.
God.
Well, yeah, God is also known as best.
It's going to be excited.
So the Typhoon is really starting to stretch their legs there now. They're already up to nearly a minute advantage.
Which is huge in these conditions, Dole.
It is, and mate, there's still a few more minutes in that, I think, before sail racing gets to the mark. We're just on them now. They've just flopped over with Moonin, and they're now on the starboard ley line for this top mark. Only sort of 50, 75 metres to go. We'll just pan out so we can bring that mark into shot. There it is now.
That was one of the signs the kids were holding up was Go Typhoon, mate. So
Yeah, they.
Luck's on their side today. Sail Racing just rounding now. That's a good gap.
So yeah, I had that at a little bit over 2 minutes,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's a pretty good lead. So Sail Racing with a
Great
good set there. Little bit slower on the Moonin, but it's now up and drawing.
So what was the delta there, Lama?
A little over 2 minutes.
Wow. Could have bought your fishing rod out, Lama.
There's a few bust ups out here, is there, Jimmy?
I've seen two, mate. And not on the 16-foot skiffs.
So yeah, the Erics, they're going to be fourth around here. They've made another nice little gain on
They
that
are
last
flying.
week.
Yeah, they
Yep.
are. They are having a great regatta.
Tinny will be glad to see his boys sailing his latest investment, buying the Imey.
He's got a few investments, Tinny, doesn't he?
Yep. And there they are. They're going around in front of the new Imey.
Credit
So-
to the boys. I think you were mentioning before, Jimmy. They do put the work in, you know.
Yeah,
and it's going to
absolutely.
show. It's going to show, which is great.
They do. They do a lot of boat work, and they spend a lot of time on the water.
And Nathan's done great for the class as well.
Well, that's
you
the
know.
other thing. Like Nathan's the president of the class, so he's
Yeah.
dealing with that at the
Yeah.
same time as trying to
Run his
sail
boat.
competitive.
Yeah, yeah. They also get a lot of support from Deck Hardware
Yeah,
and Leros Ropes, and Nathan is very technical and across all that stuff, and actually does a bit of design work, gives them feedback, has stuff changed, and helps them improve their products, which is fantastic. That flows down into the rest of the boats.
We got Tribeca, I think, in 7th, potentially, just looking at making one more tack into the mark.
So that's a gain for them, Junior?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. They came around the mark with Skelcon and a few other boats. Botany Access, I think, was in front of them, but so it's good to see.
So I've noticed that on the Tribeca there, Junior, you've gone with a north setup. And what masts are you using there?
Yeah, we got the 2 masts from CTEC, from NZ.
Yep.
Just decided to mix it up a little bit this year round, and it seems to be paying dividends at the moment. We're really happy with the product, and looking forward to putting it through its paces.
Nice.
Looks fast too.
The boat looks lovely, mate.
Trailer's amazing. Skelcon around next to first Belmont boat, closely followed by Southerly, then Sutek and Cunningham's with their new masts.
And then Botany Access close behind, so that's a real little gaggle of 4 Manly boats.
Just not on screen, but MH44 is not far off this top mark. So
They're doing fantastic.
Incredible.
Eva Atwood, Tony Sheldon and Neil Milan.
Yeah, fantastic effort.
So there's your handicap winner.
Oh,
there,
absolutely.
I reckon, for
Without
sure.
a doubt, mate.
Yeah, absolutely.
I picked that earlier on too for you, didn't I? No.
On the old system, they'd be a 25-minute boat.
Yeah.
That boat would be at least 20 years old. Trent Wildman gave it a bit of a rebuild and a birthday. I know they've bought a few new sails for it, but mate, that fire-stopping jib would be quite vintage, wouldn't it, Jimmy?
Oh, well, yeah, they all are, mate. Stop reminding me how old I am.
Oh, I know you buy one a month, so
1 a month. Oh, if it's a pin top, it's extremely old.
Yeah.
I'll give you the heads up
too
on that.
true. Yeah.
I dare say that one came off the red boat, mate.
Fluid building. Next
And
round.
then Jessica, Capital Brewing, our new beer sponsor that we're waiting on.
Yeah, yep.
And Musto.
Yeah, we're waiting on.
Beer.
Beer.
Beer we're waiting on, shits.
Capital Brewing.
Capital
Come
Brewing.
in, Capital Brewing.
Not Capital Gear.
We like beer shirts and hats.
And Infinity Rigging just coming around the mark there.
In that order too, Dol.
Yeah. Yeah. And that last one you can see that's Tungara,
Tungara
isn't
just
it?
rounding now from St George. They made a little gain up that work, which is good to see.
Yeah.
They'll be happy with that. One more work to go.
Two down, one to go.
2 down, 1 to go. You got it.
Know that you want to see off your right bow there, Jimmy, but starboard bow.
Mate, they caught
Maybe do them a favour and don't give them a tsunami to deal with as well.
Mate, they don't have a turbo at the moment, so
That won't be helping, no.
not helping them. And Alex was all flustered this morning, and I just said, mate, just get it out of your head, get a good start, and get into it. And he had a shocking start that one, but those boys are putting in the effort. And
Yeah, they're punching.
Good bunch of guys too.
yeah, well, the one I'm worried for is Alex when he gets home tonight. Dol, with Deal.
It's hard for these young guys when they step up into a new class, especially one as hotly competitive as the 16s. They come out of another class and they've been super successful. And it's very hard to swallow that you're not straight away at the front of the fleet, but it takes time. Always takes time to work your way and work it out.
Yeah.
But the great thing is we're seeing in the classes this influx of young sailors. Great for the future of the class.
When they were putting that team together, we got together for a couple of meetings and so forth, and what their plan was and what their ambitions were, and their ambitions were extremely high. And me and Dee
I know you eased them back a couple of pegs, didn't you, Jimmy?
Yeah. So just sort of said, don't aim that high just yet.
Yeah.
And they're going, but we're going to train, we're going to do this, and you just sort of go like, set your goal a little lower,
Yeah.
and you'll be, if you achieve that, you might get to your ultimate dream. But
And they've been sailing very well.
The old saying of under promise and over deliver.
Yeah. Look out, ones to watch.
look
So
at this
Typhoon-
down the bottom. Moonin has closed his gap up on Typhoon.
Absolutely. And Moonan's managed to get past Sail Racing in the process.
Yeah,
So-
Ruffy, or the Moonin guys, Moonin yacht guys, they've got an amazing downwind technique and skill, and it really makes for a exciting time to watch. And you see there, Gussie's steering while Ruffy's up the bow where he belongs, tidying up.
Gus will tell you that's the fastest mode the boat goes in.
Always is, mate, when you hand that over to a sheet end.
Yeah.
I'll agree with that, Jimmy.
Nice shot of them doing that little exercise, but it shows how talented these guys are. They can multitask. And
Just off screen, we've seen Sail Racing split to the right-hand side. It's just on screen now. Oh, no, they've decided
He's
to come
coming
back.
They're coming back.
never leave your wingman, Junior.
Yep. Good call.
I think we'll see a lot of them come around this mark in front of us.
Got Eric Storage just leading Imee into the mark here. I think those positions are pretty much unchanged, although it'll be interesting to see the cross between Noakes and Imee, which is the blue kite in front of us here.
Imee might just sneak across them.
Oh,
I think.
Noakes have decided to bail
Noakes have
out.
Jibed.
Pressure's on for Eric's kite down around the mark. 4th place for them at the moment.
I'll be cheering, wouldn't they?
Oh, absolutely.
Great effort.
Absolutely.
And we've still got a lap to go.
We do.
So they are a long way off third at the moment, but Sail Racing's 100 metres in front of them, maybe.
Yep. Get it away.
Not a bad drop.
Oh, yep.
Harry having to hike hard there while the foreign hand's in the boat.
Not much of him.
No, there's not. He doesn't make a big difference. Maybe wet his hair and his beard.
So on screen we've got Imee and Noakes, separate marks. Little split there. Noakes probably just rounding in front of Imee.
Yeah, pretty line ball there.
Wouldn't be surprised if Noakes makes a quick tack back, and then
Who's that
coming
coming
in is
around, mate?
Tribeca. Look at the boys. Maybe I won't get back on.
I was going to say, guess who's not getting back on there?
I reckon you need a few more telltales on that spinnaker, mate.
Apparently it's fastest when they're all flying.
Gee. All of them. That's a lot of them to make fly.
They sell you them individually.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, they charge extra. So that was a nice rounding from the boys.
Much neater and cleaner than last time.
Yeah, out on wire quickly and on their way back up the course, giving chase to the Imee.
You got to remember, Keegan hasn't sailed a 16 for a while. He's been
He's always in
18
and out.
and moth world for a while. So
Yeah, mate, but he's that good. He just slips straight back into it, really.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great hand to have, and it was also great to be able to put someone from St George in the boat as well.
Yeah, totally.
That was a bit of a thing we wanted to try and do.
Bit
Got an
on
interesting little rounding here.
Bit on
yeah.
here, boys.
Oh, Sutek.
The
where do they think
Sutek's
they're
got
going?
a bit on here.
are they going to? Aren't they going to?
Oh God, they're not. Yeah. Oh, the kite round the bow at the
Kite's
moment.
round the bow.
That helped him.
Southerly just sneaking. Gosh, quite polite actually.
That was very close and not a raised word amongst them.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Botany Access is taking the other gate mark, nice and cleanly by themselves without any dramas. There they are there on screen. And I think that would put them, just inside the top 10 or 10?
Yeah. Yep. Around that.
Yeah.
There or thereabouts.
Now, Sutek got a bit low and got in the gas after that little schmozzle at the mark there, so they've had to tack out to clear their air, as is
Southerly
Zoe.
opting for the same
Yeah,
thing.
she's now taking a little dig out to clear her air.
Cunninghams and Skelcon continuing on.
Now the Tribeca's taking a bit of a dig out earlier too.
Yeah, interesting to see. They'll come on stream near the cross of Cunningham's.
There they are there. You can see crossing the Cunninghams and the Skelcon. Whereas most of them, they've been pushing all the way up to North Head before tacking over. So the boys might see something there. No, they're about to tack back.
Yeah.
And they're just going to put a loose cover on these guys, right?
Yeah, good move.
Yeah, it's a good tactical decision. Just keep yourself between your opposition and the next mark.
Exactly. It's a beautiful shot of Cunningham's there. Got Cunningham's there, just bouncing through the waves.
Yeah, they got a little bit soft for a second there, but they've just moved into another patch of breeze. They're starting to stretch out again. It looks like they've got a nice bit of pressure that is going to take them all the way up to North Head here. So that should give the Army a bit of a leg up on that sort of chasing pack that's behind them. They can just consolidate on that position.
I know how much they'd love to beat the Erings.
I'm sure they would.
New boat on old boat rivalry.
In the 13s, Emix is extending their lead. We're just getting on them. There they are.
Awesome work.
Yeah, they've sailed a good race. They've that last lap, they really have put a bit of distance on the other guys and gals.
Beautiful shot of Eric's there.
Yeah.
Like I said, nice light crew, fully stretched. 7 knots of breeze. Sailing well.
Just on the verge where they're just starting to ease a tiny little bit of sheet just to trim the boat.
Interestingly, Harry, they're right up the front of the boat there. Harry tucked up nicely in behind Nathan just to keep their weight together.
Yeah. Good air. Good aero as well. They're keeping keeping hidden.
I've noticed though that the style's changed from back in our day. It's starting to mould into this 49er side by side.
Yeah.
Sort of thing where
you don't see locked legs.
No, like where we all grew up locked legs, and that was that.
Okay, yeah, right.
Yeah.
So,
And same on the 18s too, Jimmy.
Yep.
I've been noticing.
yeah.
Side by side, it's. I thought there might be a bit of, they just weren't showing the love like we did in the old days.
No, mate, no.
Jimmy's been grabbing my leg every now and then, so maybe
Just to
he
make you
wants to
feel
lock.
like you're all right, mate.
We're just
Here's
picking
the
up. There's the
Typhoon.
Typhoon on screen now, and
They definitely are not out in front as far as they were on the last
No,
leg,
Moon-
but they
Moon
are
and-
still in control.
Moon and Sail Racing have closed that gap a little.
Yeah.
Just waiting for a bit of quite shallow on the corner where we are here.
But in saying that, I think they're trying to, like we were saying with the other boats, keeping themselves between the opposition and the next mark.
Yeah.
Maybe not be exactly where they wanted to go, but as long as they've got them in the opposition locked away to leeward there,
Yep.
they know that they'll stay in front. No one's going to pick up something that they're not going to get.
Very tactical.
Yeah. They're pretty smart, I heard. They go all right. But this has been fantastic racing. Where
It always is. I mean, it's so good to watch and so good to be a part of. It's got to be one of the most competitive classes in Australia. It has to be up there.
Yeah.
Moonan's just tacked.
and even if you're not at the pointy end of the fleet, there's always a race within the race, right?
Oh, absolutely. And then everyone shakes hands and has a drink at the bar afterwards.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, touch wood, we don't see the protest committee called on too often unless there's a fairly serious breach of the rules. There's always a little bit of give and take in the skiff classes.
Yeah, it generally is in the 16s. It's
Kept out on the water.
a lot of the time it's the IOU program,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
here's a jug of beer.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
Yeah.
As I say, unless it's a serious breach and it's going to really affect the result or someone's got damage, it's usually I owe you one. Besides that, going to the protest digs into valuable drinking time, doesn't it?
We don't have a drinking culture. So there's Typhoon just coming to the mark.
For the last time for today.
Dylan's getting us right in there to watch how they set.
Yeah, these drone shots that Dylan's getting us are just, it's like you're almost in the cockpit with the boys.
It's insane.
And here we go for a set. Windward set.
Pretty nicely done.
Oh, a little whiny. That'll come out.
There we go.
Zach
Well
just threatened it. And there's the Moon in second place just going behind them.
Oh, yeah, go up.
So yeah, they've certainly closed gauge on them, but and barring anything very strange, I think that the Typhoon has this one in the bag, but we've still to get down to the bottom of the harbour yet.
Another windward set from Moonen.
And it's wrapped, and out it goes. Not too bad.
Not a bad result.
Good recovery.
Yeah. But as we were saying, that's the problem with taking that right hand
Yeah.
gate on the right hand on the approach is you end up with the kite in that wrong bag, wrong side of the boat.
Used to remember the days, Dole, we used to clip the kites and you could change them and
Swap them over, mate.
how were the days?
The runner and the reacher.
Well before your time, Junior.
Yeah, definitely. Sounds like a good era, though.
The stumps, they were always good, weren't they, Dole?
Good for hitting people with.
Yeah.
Not much else.
There's
So
Sail
the-
Racing getting around that top mark.
Sail
in
Racing
third.
coming around the top mark, and we're just passing Eric's, Imey, Tribeca, out to leeward.
Noakes.
Probably with a bit of a gain, I think, is Noakes. They sailed a little bit more up the middle than the other guys. Small gain. Back behind them is the Sutek and the Southerly.
Just seeing Imey come past the Sail Racing on screen now, going uphill. They'll more than likely be in 4th or 5th.
Yeah,
Noakes have made a good gain at the top there.
they did, yeah. They're going to close in and pretty hard on Eric's, and I think they'll be in front of Imey. On screen, we've got the Sail Racing currently in 3rd place. There's the Moon and looking down to Typhoon. Now that shot makes it look a little further than it really is. The camera lies a little.
It's a great shot, though.
Great shot.
It doesn't lie. It's
Nicely lined up, boys. But yeah, it's a little closer than it looks, but I'd say that's an unassailable lead. The only thing we have got that I've just spotted out of the corner of my eye is a fast ferry about to cut straight through the middle of the fleet.
They seem to be doing a nice thing, Dole, and going around at the
They're
back.
being pretty good. They're pretty understanding, yeah.
Like Bruce, who runs these fast ferries, he drinks at the Skiff Club, and I'm sure a chat was had to him, and
Yeah.
he's passed on the message, so which is nice.
Yeah, they seem to be doing a pretty good job, and especially with not much else traffic to deal with out here.
There again, Typhoon and Moonin, battle for first and second.
Yeah, and look, Moonin, they know that they're not going to catch him, but you look at them, they are still working so hard. So we're just looking at Matty, back and forth. He's working that kite. They've got the main coming in, out, just trying to pick up every little bump they can.
You can see him there on the screen, just swinging it down, stepping forward, stepping back.
Throwing the shoulders back. There he goes there. Really trying to work the boat as much as he can. And they probably know they're not going to catch him, but they're still giving it everything they've got.
Not going to die wondering, are they?
Absolutely not.
Here's a nice little wave for them here.
Back to Typhoon here, who are probably not too far, a little bit further to a giant fillet.
Yeah, I think you're right,
pin.
Junior.
Bragging rights for the day goes to Zach Barnabas and
Absolutely.
the Barnabas
Hierarchy.
race.
Oh, yeah.
So we've got the Dransfield race, the Barnabas race.
Yep.
Who else do we have? We have the Stoddards.
Yeah, the Stoddards, that's right, yeah.
There's a jibe on Moonin.
Seems to be the younger folk getting up in both races.
I'm going to try and frame this up for you, but I think I know why Moonin and jibe. Sail Racing has just been
Coming down with pressure.
and heading pressure too, Dol.
Yeah. Just blasting down towards the finish line here so we can get some good shots of them coming across the finish. Great shot there of Typhoon. They're on their final approach, about 100 metres to go.
They'll be happy with that. That's a pretty good day for them today.
Yeah.
Just getting notice that some boats didn't sign on, so watch this space.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
No names.
No
For now.
names at this stage.
So here we go. As the Typhoon comes in across the line for the win, they will be very happy with that.
They're very happy. Good day for the boys.
Shaking the hoodoo.
Yes. Mal was saying the other day that he wants to have a cremation for the green spinnakers.
Yes, we were talking about that because the day they went out the other day with the green spinnaker, I warned them.
Have a burning ceremony.
But yeah, they went out and T-boned a fishing boat after we'd had the conversation.
And here comes the Moonin, comfortably in second. They defended well against Sail Racing, so well done to Ruffy and the boys.
Yeah, he'll be happy with that too.
Yeah.
Nice solid result. But
Good
you
day
know,
for the top three guys.
Yeah, yeah. And Sail Racing, they've had a very consistent day. So
First and a third, that's pretty good result.
pretty good scorecard, yeah.
Yep, for the first day, first counting day of the regatta.
Yeah, yeah. So they're just on final approach here now, a few metres to go.
Let's hope none of those boys fall victim to the sign on, sign off.
Yes.
You'd think not, but you never know in the heated moments.
Yeah, or sometimes those little things when you're concentrating on the bigger picture, sometimes you forget about those things. And those three really gapped out,
They
didn't they?
did, didn't they? Yeah. Eric's look to be next.
Yeah.
Well, not comfortably. They got Noakes charging down on them. Miami hot in pursuit. So, be interesting to see.
Yeah, we're just going up and having a look at them now. You can see the white kite there is the Erics, and the blue is Noakes, and the orange is Imey.
So Noakes have had a good gain out of that last work, put themselves into contention for a podium.
Yeah.
I don't quite think they're going to get there. I think Erics will probably hold them out, but that's a good effort by Dave O'Connor, Peter Mackey and Ricky Bridge.
Well, you said they'd come out swinging.
Oh yeah, well they wouldn't have been too happy with the result in the first race, and I know they worked damn hard yesterday to get themselves into third place, and they've sort of shown again what they can do in this race.
Yeah. Well, Mackie wasn't too happy because I made the fatal mistake of walking up to shake his hand, and as you know, it's like he's had a bad moment, and you're the victim with the hand.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
can I just have one finger back? I don't mind. Sorry, mate.
You're right, mate. You just can play footsies all you want.
Yeah, there's some big grippers he's got.
Well done, and look, that's a great race for Eric's there. Noakes to come across.
Great effort.
Fourth for the boys there.
Yeah, so Noakes there, they'll just drive through the finish there and lazily knock that kite off into the bag. Here we are with the Imey.
And then another little jump through the fleet is Sutek.
Sutek, yep.
They're going to come in sixth.
The boys that love to send.
Yeah.
Imey there, they'll just lazily jibe around this finish mark, and Robbo will throw that kite away. Great job from the boys.
Here
They'll
comes Sutek in now. They jumped right up there. They must have gone from...
Good little work that last work.
They got caught up in the little rounding at the
They
last
were.
time round.
Yeah.
That was sort of 10th or
10th,
12th.
around 10th,
Yeah. That's a great work.
So
by
great
those
game
guys.
there from the boys.
Yep.
And you could see them coming down when they're working hard as well.
Yep. So next two, we've got one of them's Tribeca, and in front of them is Southerly. Zoe, another good result.
Yeah. Fantastic.
She said that'll put the Southerly right in contention at the moment. Well sailed. Matt's definitely not getting his boat back.
Yeah. And Paul Poley might get these too. With Jamie on there.
Well sailed.
Certainly lowered their average age.
Yeah. Tribeca close behind them, who have managed to hold out Skelcon.
Well done to Zoe, eh?
Good work to
Great day. Fantastic day.
And little Benny, Rory and Keegs.
Yep, that's a good day for them. They'll be happy with that.
Yeah,
They'll
they'd be
really
happy.
with that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Here's the first Belmont boat
East
on
Coast.
screen.
No, Skelcon.
Oh, Skelcon, sorry, yeah.
Sponsored by East Coast as
Yeah.
well.
So,
The Macon boys.
been just having a bit of dialogue while you guys have been chatting away. The results are provisional at this current stage because there's a few boats that haven't appeared to have signed on.
Uh-huh.
The conversation basically says that results are public, but the sign-on page is public information, so feel free to share. And the three boats in question in the 16-foot skiffs at the moment is Typhoon, MH44 and Joe Walsh Rigging are the four that look like they haven't signed on.
Oh dear.
Oh, the three, sorry. And then in the 13s, a Beco and Cybertech, it looks like haven't signed on. So more to follow on that one.
And what are we doing for this regatta, Jimmy? Is it an electronic sign-on on your phone?
I'm not sure. News Cunningham's coming to the finish. I will find that out.
Yeah,
but,
it is.
I think it is.
It is electronic. Yeah.
Right.
Yep. They send a link to you via the WhatsApp group just before leaving on the beach, actually, sort of
Bit of a
an
reminder.
hour before as a reminder. You just click through and sign on. So, it's a fatal mistake if it's
If you
to be
forget.
true.
Yeah. So
So-
we've just had the Nick and the boys in the Cunninghams come through.
Big Alex and Michael
And
Charles.
Charlesy. And then we've got the Botany Access
Access.
boys.
The Thomas brothers, Chris and Ryan.
The Thomas
with Jared
brothers
Smith up
and
the bow.
Gerard.
And Fluid coming down now on screen. Got a good bit of pressure there. They'll be next to finish.
Finally found some legs
Yeah.
on the Fluid. Good day. Good race for them.
Bozo always manages, when I say Bozo, Clint Bowen for those that don't know him, he's, he always manages to lift for nationals.
Yeah,
You know,
he does.
you know,
He does. But this year and probably the last year or so, very relaxed program, right, Jimmy?
Oh, it has been. And,
Compared to Clint's normal.
You would have known what was going on more than me with Phil Harmer having his factory opposite you, how relaxed it was.
Yeah,
Clint does a lot with Tour de Cure.
he does.
And,
Great things.
I think that's where his focus has been for the last couple of years, and he's just wanting to take a step back. Like he sort of went on, I think, one more year after I packed up my campaign with the 16s, and Bozo went one more year, and then he's got his good mate Phil Harmer and Dave Burke up the bow now. So it was a bit of a coup.
Yeah, but they kept saying they just want to have some fun.
Yeah.
Three mates, get on a boat, go out and have some fun. But I know we know how competitive the three of them are actually. So
I bumped into Clint the week before the Nationals, and he was sort of saying the same thing. He's really enjoying it though. It was hard to step back, but he's really enjoying it.
Yeah,
And here's MH44 coming to the finish.
one of the boats in question.
It'll be a real shame for those guys if
It
they,
would be devastating. Yeah.
although it just goes to show what they can do.
Here's the first 13. Just not on screen. Tagara finishing.
Tagara.
And Infinity Rigging not far behind. Good to see a bit of club rivalry going on there.
And then I think it's the Musto, is it? Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, we've just had the leading 13 was on screen there.
The
For a
Ebix.
sec, we'll get them back in a minute. Pretty handy lead for them too, James and Gemma Hopkins.
They've had a great day today. Are they the boat to beat, Dolly? Or
They should be, yeah. Yeah, they've...
and who's in charge?
I would say James, but Gemma's a strong-willed young girl. She's steering, and she, as I said, sometimes that sibling thing doesn't always work, and I tried it with both my kids, and it certainly didn't work. But sometimes you get others, like I coached the Dranfield kids,
Yep.
and they all sailed together at some stage, and it worked. Yeah. Yeah, you get others that just punch on, right?
Yeah, I definitely didn't get on with my sister when we tried it. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chubbs across the line next to the yellow chute. And then
First of the red pumps.
Red.
Not sure they'll be too happy with today. And Dominoes as well.
Ebix here, they're almost there. Dominoes. In the 16, there's Ebix there.
Dominoes through, sneaking through the
First
Noakes.
13.
Noakes is going to sneak in front of Capital and
Noakes Blue.
Yeah, Noakes Blue in front of Capital and
Wonder.
But look,
But look who's
Will
sneaked
the
all the
Bowler's
way
going to
through.
sneak
Yeah.
one on the inside. They're well done,
Thanks
boys.
for coming.
That's twice. They did that 2 races in a row. That's their signature move.
Yep.
Look, he's happy. He's given a pat on the back.
Yeah.
Then Capital, then Light and Wonder.
Fluid is the second 13 coming down now. There is a big gap between
Little
them
Donny.
and Ebix. Oh,
Yeah, I don't know. No, you've got the
Out
Botany
to the
scaffold
left.
girls
Botany
on this side.
scaffold.
yeah.
I think they're waiting for this skiff to jibe before they do, I think. Oh, there they go now.
Red pumps coming through. Say there'll be some off the water discussions after today's results.
Off quick
with
trip
them.
to Luna Park to the House of Mirrors.
I'd say so. Yeah. Yep. they come out guns blazing yesterday and not so much today. And
Well, that's we haven't had Red Pumps Red finish, have we?
yeah,
Oh,
we have.
they did go through. Yeah, oh,
not,
they
not
did
too far in front though.
Yeah.
So
Sam G next across the
And
line,
then-
but he's second place in the 13 footers.
yeah, Botany Scaffolding, excellent
You
job.
beauty.
They've had a good day too.
They did.
Good on
Yeah,
them, girls.
they will have big smiles on their faces this evening.
I'm sure, as you said, Justin will be cheering them on. Very happy with that.
He will be.
Hopefully he bought his checkbook.
Carries it around with him all the time, doesn't he?
Sure. Juzzo's a fantastic.
There they go. They're over now, and they're not going to drop it. Oh, yes, they will now. They were thinking about just giving it a send over the 16s then, but thought better of it in the end.
Bill
Justin
Nelly
does a
fell
great
out of the
job.
boat then.
Bit of a wave there. Nice one, girls.
Next coming through, we've got a few boats. We've got SKE Electrical, but they're going to get done by
RW Retail.
RW Retail.
And Nozomi in the blue
And
kite there.
on the far side, there's
P. Leary.
Oh, P. Leary, sorry.
LaHaze, yep.
LaHaze, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, okay.
The 187-year-olds.
Bartley
The
snuck
Bartley,
through.
then Kamikaze.
Yeah, and the 13
SK
fluids having to
And
navigate the fleet.
Fluid 13, they've probably
Little
filling
Donny,
up.
well done, mate.
Yep,
It's a great result for him.
Yeah. I like that kite too. They're very easy to spot on the race course.
Then Fireball next across.
Oh, that I can hear the noisy bunch on Aloha
The Lunatic Asylum.
behind us. Cheers and jeers.
Go. Well, he's wait for this really fast red boat coming here, Doc. Next 13 that's just there on screen, Plonk, is from Middle Harbour. That's an awesome result for them.
Yeah.
So
They like a bit more breeze, Jimmy,
Yep.
the Plonk team. So if we see an increase in pressure as the week goes on, you can
Yeah.
expect them to start
to rise.
yeah, for sure.
Looking like the end of the week might shape up, all right? A bit of
Does.
breeze coming.
Yeah.
A few nor'easters, maybe.
Yeah, look, I don't think it's going to be stonking, but it'll be
No.
up in the
And there's
15.
the fine stopping finishing.
15 plus a little bit, maybe. Shear line looks like the next.
Is there any way
13 to
we
come
can help
through,
them get a number
Orlando.
one jib for
No,
rest of the
well, because
regatta?
they've already signed them in, mate.
Right, unfortunate, okay.
Yep. But yeah, that just about wraps things up for today. As I said, stay tuned to the social media pages and so forth. And there's the mighty Aloha and the cheers squad
giving
from
us a
Botany
wave.
Access.
Big wave.
So g'day guys.
Well, the botany team on there today.
Zanny get on there.
Justin
Yeah.
and his dad Pete, and I think there's John
Beautiful.
and Adam up the top. Hello, everybody.
Extended holiday, it looks to be, eh? Good
Yep.
on them.
So
I'm not sure how they're going to get to the club, but I don't think anyone's driving.
just turn your phone to silent doll is the secret. But the last few boats crossing the line here, we might wrap things up, Chits.
Yep.
So thanks everyone for tuning in today for Heats 2 and 3 of the Australian 16-foot skiff titles. Heat 2 was in honour of Buckle Toyota and Heat 3 ASEA. So look forward to seeing you all back at the club or back here tomorrow for the live stream. Huge thanks to Dolly. Thanks Junior for jumping on and helping out today. It was great to mix it up a bit and have a few different commentators, which we're going to try and do through the week.
Thanks for having us, Jimmy.
Absolute pleasure.
And the boys up the back of the bus here,
Yeah.
fantastic job.
Awesome operation.
Awesome
Yeah.
pictures,
Been the
yeah.
highlight of my week so far. So thanks, guys.
I'm glad I can make your week, Junior.
It's early days. It's early days.
On the back of the boat. All right, it's not me. I've got room to improve.
Yeah, these blokes make you look good, Jimmy.
I know they do.
Yeah.
So on that note, thanks guys, thanks to all the team here, and we'll see you tomorrow for what have we got? We've got 2 races
Heats
tomorrow.
4 and 5.
4 and 5 tomorrow. So we will see you here for that. Thanks for watching.